Live 17 floors up, and when it rains, I can feel those drops in my window pane. Lets me know that I'm still here. But when the sun comes out, I will go outside. When it breaks through clouds, I will give a smile. Lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away, to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and up, and when I cry, I can see this city through my watered eyes. Lets me know that I'm still here. When my eyes clear up, I will go outside. I'll imagine you're still by my side. Lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away, to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Run away, to the nearest place where I'll find all my old friends. Good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again, and good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. Don't wanna be your enemy, no. This fantasy, it's guiding me.
Well, hello and welcome everyone to the Hi-Rez Update Pre-Show, powered by Hi-Rez. My name is Gormizer, and joining me as always is Tina and Ena. And of course, we're going to have another fantastic show for you today. A little bit later, I know Myflin is going to be going through this month in SMITE. I asked him about it. He assured me there was cool stuff. When I asked for more specifics, he said, don't worry about it. So that's what I got for that going forward. We'll have Oh My God a little bit later with Tina, but up next after this segment is going to end up being Ena, taking us through the art showcase. Ena, what's going to be going on today?
The usual art showcase, the art showcase, the usual.
Admittedly, that's what I want to tune in for, so it makes sense. I hope that's exactly.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Everyone's keeping things from me. I'm gonna have to get a peek behind the veil. Tina, you're gonna be doing Oh My God a little bit later. Who's gonna be hanging out with you? What are you gonna be talking about?
So our guest today will be Khaos, and we're going to be talking about Cthulhu.
That's going to be fun. We actually got to see some really fun Cthulhu plays this last weekend in the SBL, so I'm excited to see what you guys are going to be talking about. But before we do that, I was going to talk to you just about some patch day memories, right? We've been coming through with this. I distinctly remember some old patches at this point. It's really weird that most recent patches all blend together for me. I couldn't tell you the separation between like Tiamat release and Cthulhu. But if you go back, for me, one that stood out as an example here is way back when ESET was released. When we would log in, because it was, still standalone launcher time, everything was isolated, all high-res, and you'd load in, and there'd just be the Aphrodite skin, because we had the card art, I guess, or animated up as the login screen, and you just hear the funky bass, you'd hear the disco music playing, and for some reason, that just stood out in my mind. When we were trying to prepare for this, I was like, okay, I'm gonna look for whatever I could talk about here, and I literally could not think about anything else. Nothing would stick in my mind, nothing stayed true, so I wanted to share that memory with you. And ask, I guess, Tina and Ena, do you guys have any memories from past SMITE patches that have stood up? Tina, what about you?
Well, yeah, I have a couple where not very well. It was very embarrassing. It was International Women's Day, and I basically called our COO a bitch on live broadcast. Yeah, that was quite embarrassing, but it was during the heat of a moment, and everyone knows me for that now, so, I guess.
If that's not women empowerment,
bad publicity is good publicity,
is.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
I'm pretty
solid.
sure that's also in your announcer pack, right? Or at least a reference to that
Yes,
is in
it
your
is in my
announcer pack in the
pack.
game.
Correct.
So it's been immortalized.
Honestly, I'm so proud of you. I love it.
All right, Ena, what about you? Do you have any patch day memories that stand out to you?
Mine isn't as hilarious as y'all's, but anytime we've released Avatar characters from Avatar: Last Airbender, because I remember watching that series right when it came out and falling so deeply in love with it and always wanting to work with it or just do something with it, and the fact that Hi-Rez was able to do a battle pass with Avatar characters it's even though I haven't done much for it or I haven't barely worked on anything for the characters, it was kind of like a full circle moment where I felt really proud to at least be a part of the company that is bringing these characters into this type of gameplay. So yes, that's mine.
Doubly fitting because you had, what is that? It was Ty Lee, Mei, Azula, and Zuko behind you as well on display.
Yeah,
so that fits really perfect with the motif you have in the room.
I found this old drawing and I just, I love it. And I can't wait for when we get Ty Lee and Mei, because Ty Lee is solid. And I think that would be a really cool Jingwei skin, but we'll see.
And you know what? I think just based on that, I'm perfectly happy to throw this out there. Ty Lee's my favorite character in the show, and that's something that I've gotten into several arguments about this in the past, and so It is something I will stand by. Yeah, it's because everyone wants to look. They're all really good characters. I think that is what everyone wants to argue. Just Ty Lee's better than all the others. I don't know what to tell you. Either way, that's going to close it up for this segment. We are going to be going forward to the art showcase, and because of that, Ena, you can just go ahead and take it away.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Hi-Rez Community Art Show. It's me, your favorite mom, EnaBuns, and with me today, that's not Anna, that's Teener. Hi Teener.
Oh, wait, I looked the wrong way.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, hi my love, welcome. Welcome to the art show. We're having Tina. What?
I said dog butt.
I knew it. I knew it. The first thing out of her mouth was going to be something with a butt. And I'm so excited. Mind you, we do miss Anna, but she couldn't make the art show today. She's busy out here killing it in the animation game as she usually does. So we have Tina, and we have some amazing artwork to show you guys. And as always, thank you to the Twitter community for tagging us. And all of your amazing artwork has just like rejuvenated us after the long weekend. So yeah, Tina, are you excited to see all this art?
Yes, I'm very excited to be here. And what's in store?
Hell yeah, we're gonna have a good time. I'm very excited.
Surprise me.
The production, get the censor button ready. I am so excited to have Tina on the show. All right, we're gonna dive right in to the art right now. Let's go. First up, we have, I know, girl, I know, get ready. This is art by Cliodhna, and this is just a gorgeous Bologna. Really soft and so pretty.
Wait, is that color pencil?
No, it's digital. But like I can see why you could. Yeah,
Why does it look
it's
so color pencil-y amazing?
I know. Well, that's technology, Tina. We have the capability
Oh my God.
of
Technology
making digital
is
art.
wicked.
I know. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it does give off some like canvas traditional art, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
I
pretty.
like her
Oh,
flail.
it's so
It
pretty.
looks sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's called a flail,
I
right?
love it. I think, right? The
I don't know
little
what it's called.
the ivy
the
from
spiky.
that one game. The spiky boy.
Guys, help us out. Is it a flail?
Flail? It's a flail.
Yeah, it's a flail.
That's what it is.
Thank you, microphone god.
Well, thank you so much, art by Cliodhna, for this gorgeous Bologna. We always love seeing our wonderful, sweet baby girl Bologna. This next piece is by Babylus. I hope I said that correctly. And this one is a Queen of Avalon, Morgan Le Fay concept. And it's been hyped up on Twitter. People are freaking out. It's so pretty.
Dude, you know who she looks like? Esmeralda.
Ooh, yeah.
Like from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Well, yeah. I can see it with like all the
You
tassels
can see
and
it?
whatnot
Maybe it's
around
just
the
the
hip.
colors. Yeah,
Oh, I
the
can totally
colors
see it. And
shit.
like that loose hair and stuff. Ooh, yeah. I love that. It's a
Mhm.
great concept too. I love the sword and the dragon, that really cool sigil, or I guess like circle
The glowy
with
thing.
all the things. Yeah, I almost said transmutation circle.
Looks
Almost.
like astrology symbol. I see a Libra,
Yes.
maybe a
That's the one.
Virgo.
Where's
yeah.
the Taurus
yeah,
at?
yeah, it looks cool.
This is awesome, Faye Bellis. Thank you so much. Moving on to the next piece, guys. We have this really, really cool concept. It's all about concepts, this show. All about concepts. This is
Who
an
is?
Amusenkab by Giselle the Sea. Giselle Sea? I always mess up the name. I'm sorry. But yeah, this is an Amusenkab merman concept.
Dude, I'm so
Is that
into
cool?
I always advocate for like hot seamen. Like you don't understand. Okay?
Listen,
Prince
Tina,
Sidon, this
You've come
guy,
to the right show.
Achilles.
You've
Like
come
I
to
just
the
want
right show,
hot
girl.
seamen. I swear to God,
yes.
I'm not a furry. I just like hot, like human
Hashtag
looking
everybody.
things.
Spam the chat. Oh my God. Well, okay. So.
Oh, he's got an eel on his fist.
Yes, it's very good, and I love all of this. I can't. I love this so much. Okay, guys, moving on to the next one before we get flagged. We've got this gorgeous. We haven't seen a lot of Chablanchek. That's what I call him, but Chablanque. By Sinda Puffs. And this is just like a cute little chibi Chablanque, and I love it. How do you say it, Tina? How do you say his name?
I just call him like short. I say Xbow. I just say Xbow.
Expo?
But
I like that.
his
That's a
I
lot
think his
better.
real name is Shabalenke because an X is a
Shabalenke.
sound.
Yeah,
Shabalenke,
yeah. Well, this is such a cute concept, or well, not concept. It is the concept. It could be a little chibi concept. I like it.
Yeah. it
Well,
could
thank you so
totally
much,
be.
Signed Up Puffs, for this piece. Moving on to the next one, we've got another concept. Another one. And this one is by one of our dearest, Eogan or Eofen. I always mess up the names. I'm so sorry, everybody. But this is a cyberpunk Mulan
Moolah.
concept. And yeah, it is terrifying and really cool at the same
It
time.
is terrifying.
Yeah, I really like the use of the prosthetic legs. I don't know if it would be like sharpened or something, or if it would just be made for jumping, for agility. But I love to see this. This is so
Reminds
cool.
me of the chick in the Kingsman. You know what I'm talking about? The Kingsman?
Yeah, where she did have scythes.
Sword legs, dude.
But
sword feet.
yes.
Yeah.
Sword feet. I love this one personally. I love the third one. But yeah, thank you so much, Eoghan, for another really badass piece. Moving on, guys.
Very badass.
Yes, very badass. We have a really good sticker. I feel like this would make a really excellent sticker. This is by Benedict Big, and this is Morgan Le Fay. And wouldn't that be a cool sticker? I love that.
Yes. 100%.
So good.
Stick
it
that
reads
on my
really well
drink.
too, for like.
Yes.
Yeah. For like chibi-fying all those details, it still reads really well, especially the leg, because it can get busy, but it looks so good. I love it. Thank you so much,
I love
Benedict
the
Big.
flames.
Yeah, the flames are really good around the sword.
Great job, man. Really good job.
The pose is good too. Thank you so much. Now moving on to this next one, we've got some paladins. We love seeing some paladin stuff. This is by Gyro Petra, but I say it correctly, Gyro Petra. And these are, this is Io in the middle, Skadrin, and Vora. It's always nice to see paladins art. We love it.
Yeah, I've never played any of their characters. I know.
Yeah, I know Io's pretty
I recognize them though, for sure.
Yeah. But I love this. I love this. The concept of all of them together, or seeing them kind of like in an anime intro opening style. I like that. The seriousness of it. I love it. The drama. It's so good. Thank you so much, Gyro Petra. Moving on, we've got a really cool abstract piece by Josena's DF.
Oh, good. That's awesome.
Oh, wait, not an abstract piece. This is a concept. I'm on the wrong one. And this is a Deep Sea Queen Ceres from Paladins as well.
Love
That's
it.
so creepy. It's so
Anything
good.
Ursula is like up my alley.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love it. It's so creepy. Well, thank you so much. And this one's by Piero de Gregori. And he actually posted 2 iterations. One was more this teal color, and the other one was more purpley pink. But I like this one. This one's my favorite.
I like it.
But moving on, guys, to the next one that we have, which is the one I mentioned earlier. This is by Jos N. Asdf. I hope I said that correctly. And this is a Pixel Chaos Discordia.
Oh, Discordia.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pixel Chaos.
Can see it.
And it is so abstract and so fun. The lines are so loose. I love it.
Look at the Pac-Mans.
Yeah, I know. And everything. The little Galaga guys, too.
Yeah.
If that is Galaga. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. But yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much, Josena is DF.
Great.
And all right, guys, we made it. We made it to the pick of the week. Our favorite one, our favorite piece. This next one, Tina, are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know what this is, so I'm excited.
Well, this is the top one. The one that we've chosen is our favorite for the week. And here it is. It's by Caster Luke. I want to say that correctly. Obviously, it's our girl. And yeah, Charybdis. Or Charybdis. Charybdis, one of those.
Did you call it Charybdis?
Actually...
Charybdis. I'm going to call it Charybdis from now on.
Charybdis. Yes, that's the one. Charybdis. But so this was actually a t-shirt design that this artist made for our FanForge contests. And I love it. It's so good.
I want this shirt. I want it. I legit want this shirt. Is it on FanForge like right now? Can I go buy it right now?
Yes, I think it is. I'm not sure. All I know is that they tagged us on the SMITE art show, and I did see it on there. So hopefully it's been chosen. It's so good. It's so good.
I will look it up.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
a million invisible hugs
Bravo.
to you,
Bravo.
Caster Luke. Great job, and thank you to all of the community artists who submitted and who've tagged us and who love on us. So, Tina, real quick before we go though, I wanted to ask you if you could draw something with me for a minute, for 60 seconds.
Oh, I love
so-
these challenges.
So since she's
Yes, what are we
new
drawing?
to Smite, I was thinking we could draw Clydesdale or whatnot. What's her name? Clydesdale? Draw Clydesdale.
A pony? We're drawing. How'd
Sure.
you know? I love ponies. Oh my god,
that's her,
Clydesdale's
right?
like one of my
Okay.
favorite horses of all time. I'm good. Let's
that's
go.
the new
We
character.
got 60 seconds,
okay,
right?
let's
Are we
do
doing it right
All
now?
right, ready? In 3, 2, 1, go now.
Okay.
Oh god. Oh god. No,
Oh
this
god,
is
I
so
haven't
bad.
drawn a horse in so long.
Oh my god.
Oh
Oh
god.
no, I've run out of paper. I've run out of paper.
Oh god. His feet are
This is
so
right,
fluffy.
right?
His feet are so fluffy. I think his head's
I
too
don't know.
small for his body.
I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm really hungry. So I'm not at my best right now.
Oh, this is just bad.
That's the best I can do, honestly. Oh, I got some time. I'm gonna add angry eyebrows. Boom, done. Pens down.
Oh no, 1 second, I forgot to draw the
Tina,
dots.
put your pen down.
Okay.
Put your pen down. Okay, all right. You're ready
And
to
then-
see it. Hold it up. Hold it up for the class to see. We gotta see it. That's sick. That's so
That's his
good.
beard. Wait.
Oh my
This-
god.
So Clydesdale's no, Tina.
That's yeah.
Here.
No, it's
So
Clyde.
Clydesdales have beards.
Yeah. I
And they
had
have
no idea
beards
they
on
had
their
beards.
feetsies too.
Is this?
I
Is
drew
this
like
right?
feetsies beards.
I love it.
and
it's
fluff.
so good.
Thank you.
That's so good, Tina. Good job. I love it. It's obvious that you like
you.
horses. Here's mine, and I'm
I
very
love
ashamed
horses.
of
I want to
it.
see yours.
This
Ah.
is so bad. There she
That
is.
looks like Oso. I don't think you drew a horse. I think you drew Oso.
Man, production's gonna get hit. Fucking giving me the boo. Get out of here. Anyway, thank you. I've tried my best here. I'm working on fumes here. I haven't eaten lunch yet. So is this the new character for Smite? Wait.
Did we make a Clydesdale?
Wait. Oh, it's Justin reported that it isn't Clydesdale. It's Cliodhna.
Cliodhna? That's a dirty word.
That's the character from Smite, but we'll reserve that. We'll reserve that for when we do the thing with everybody else. We'll reserve that. Anyway, Clydesdales. We did it. Yes. Oh my god.
Yes,
this show
we
has
drew a
gone
horse.
off the rails. This show has gone off the rails. I love it so much. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody that has tagged us continuously on the Smite Art Show Twitter. We love seeing all of your work. We will continue to see all of your work and hype it up. Tina, thank you so much for joining me.
Of
Look
course.
at her.
Thank you for having me.
Wait. There we go. There she is. And thank you for drawing an immaculate Clydesdale.
Thank
you
you.
so much, everybody. Of course. And we'll see you in the next show. And I love you, and you look nice today. And see ya.
Bye.
Welcome back, everyone, to, of course, the three of us hanging around after another brilliant art show that comes through the showcase, as we got to see. Although, I have a sneaking suspicion that we're about to have a different kind of art showcase here.
Giddy up, kiddos. It's time for Enna's Forced Art Roundup Rodeo. It's multiple. We're progressing. We're going to figure out the title. But yes. All right, guys. So from the show, Tina and I decided to draw Cliodhna, which is how you say it, by the way. Instead, we drew delightful, beautiful, majestic Clydesdales, because I thought it was pronounced Clyde something. I don't know. We're not getting into it. So, guys, what I need from you, Gormizer and Teener, is to go ahead and draw your best iteration of Cliodhna in 60 seconds. So, yeah, if you're down for the challenge.
Yes, I'm excited. Let's do it.
Got a little hot. All right, let's go.
I will draw something.
Are you ready?
All right, guys. We're going to go now.
Oh, I'm already upset. I'm already upset with it. Where's my eraser? So you know how like there's like always memes for art classes where they teach you how to draw anatomy because it's very difficult.
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll never guess where I'm at.
Oh my god, I'm actually trying with this piece. I'm gonna try. I'm
How do you
having
draw
a good art
clothing
day.
onto things? How do you do this? I don't know. I don't
I don't know,
understand
man.
how to take it from lines to like stuff.
I don't know, just close your eyes and just figure it out. That's how I draw everything. Just close my eyes and wish for the best.
I added some
God.
flair
Oh
to
my
make
gosh,
the
she's
main
got fat
piece not so
fingers.
bad.
I inadvertently made salad fingers. No, or Cliodhna or whatever.
Oh, there's no way that's 60 seconds. I don't even. Oh no. Okay, well I added
Okay,
flair to
guys,
mine
put it
because
down.
the main.
I can't
I'm
wait
done.
to see it. Alright,
Oh
good
no.
job. That's the rodeo. Okay, now Gormizer,
Okay.
you are up first. Yeah, with our hats on.
Oh,
Go on,
I have to?
cowboy. Yes, absolutely.
All right, so I know. Hold on, I'm gonna reveal it in parts because the main part sucks. But like, I knew it was what is it, in Queen of the Banshees? So I drew some little ghosts on the side, but I didn't
Oh
get
my
a whole lot
goodness.
done in the middle. so I was trying to draw a hood, and I don't know how to draw clothes, and I don't know if she has legs, so I just made her float.
Oh my god. Honestly,
I think she's a
just as
floater.
terrified if I saw
She's a
that in the
floaty.
vlog.
So like, if we could just like, if I look, this could be good concept art, right? Like, I'm gonna just go ahead and storyboard it. Somebody else can take the rest.
I loved it. It was so good.
Oh, no.
Oh man,
It was very cute.
She don't even
very,
have
very
hands.
creepy. Very cute. Well, that's okay. She doesn't have to. Teener, you're up next. Let's see what you got, cowgirl.
Okay.
Oh, I see boobs. Oh, she looks awesome. Oh my god, those hands.
I love the.
Oh my god, those hands. Oh my god. It looks so
So
good.
she got some big
Teener.
old titties, and then
Yeah, well,
she's got those
yeah.
like, look at those like needle hands, man.
So, those
She can
are
like
straight
deflate
up
you
salad
with those.
fingers.
You know what I'm saying? Like she pinches you
Oh
and you just
God.
deflate.
You
Yeah.
could tickle someone from across the room.
But look at her face. She's like
That's the creepiest
super
part, honestly.
happy, angry at the same time.
The most terrifying part of all this whole thing. That was awesome, Tina. That was really good. All your
Thank
sketches are so
you.
good. Honestly, you should be an artist because the way you capture these characters is fantastic. All right, that was awesome. Here's my version with really horribly drawn hands. I'm very upset about. So here she is, old lady, or she is old lady, but not old lady.
Is she a
I
spider?
don't know what she is. Well, she's
Oh,
like-
those
she's
aren't
doing
legs.
little-
Those are her fingers.
Yeehaw.
I thought it was a spider.
I think
That's her
I think-
hair. Her hair's coming up, right? Because her hair has like this weird thing that it does,
Oh,
like Mama,
yeah.
that Guillermo del Toro movie with the hair.
my
like,
60
looks like it's
seconds and
underwater.
your 60 seconds must not be the same time period. I refuse to believe it.
Oh man, it's all in good
Oh,
fun.
man.
And either way, I would be terrified to see all of y'all's renditions in a box.
Get this as
somewhere.
a
I would-
skin in
I would
game
be
though. That's
equally-
what's gonna happen.
more, more so yours, for
Okay.
sure. Well, thanks, y'all. Tip your hat and tip your waitresses for the art.
Where's my hat
rodeo.
though? There you go.
Where's-
There it is, ma'am.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Well, I guess that's
Okay,
gonna
yeah,
wrap it
okay.
up here for the art challenge. But of course, make sure you stay tuned. A little bit later, we're gonna have this month in Smite. But I know right up next, Tina, you're going to be taking us through Oh My God alongside Khaos here. So I'm excited to see that as we talk about Cthulhu right after this.
everyone! Welcome to Oh My God, a show where we talk about all things Smite gods. Today, I have a special guest, Alex, aka Khaos. Alex, please tell us what you do for Smite.
Yep, I'm a gameplay programmer on SMITE.
Yay! Okay, so he's gonna help us talk about today's god, which is Cthulhu. So you know how we always start these shows with lore in 60 seconds. So Alex, please count me down.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Cthulhu is this god, like, his mythos started from H.P. Lovecraft, and he wrote a book called Call of Cthulhu, or whatever the fuck, right? And then, okay, so Cthulhu in the book is characterized as a priest or leader of the Old Ones. I guess like some kind of species that came from Earth, or came to Earth from the stars before human life arose. The Old Ones are like really dormant, and their city slipped under Earth's crust beneath the Pacific Ocean. They communicate with humans through telepathy, and in hidden corners of the world, uncivilized people remembered and worshipped Cthulhu in rites described as Losa. These groups had statues of Cthulhu that seemed to be made of materials not found on Earth, and chanted the phrase, I can't say that phrase, in this house at Relay, dead Cthulhu waits dreaming. When conditions are right, the city will rise, and with the help of the eternal Cthulhu cult, Cthulhu will awaken and regain and again rule the Earth. I did it, you guys. I counted. We were good. We're good. Thank you. Thank you. It was just me trying to read really quickly, okay? Well, I do want to ask you a few questions, because I know you programmed this god. But first, I want to just talk about, since you were a programmer before as well, you have two things going for you. So I want to ask you first about just like gameplay, like how you would play the character during the game, like in game.
Yeah, sure. So normally I'd probably prefer him in solo, just the way that he's his abilities are kind of statted, kind of better fit solo lane. I tend to go more of the Axe mystical male builds, because my whole goal usually as a solo laner is I try to sit on the ADC. So I'm mostly building just to have this strong tanky presence, where the longer I'm around a target, the more that I can zone that target, the more that target's getting damaged. I know some of the people tend to try the Vamp Shroud Tyrannical builds, which is a lot more burst damage, and I think that does work out pretty well, especially if your playstyle is like, you're against some kind of a mobile character and your goal is to kind of nuke them as fast as possible. You might want to go more of that damage build, because especially when you're up in the ult, they can't escape. You're just going to be pumping damage onto them. But yeah, no, the main goal, I'd say that your job is like you kind of want to keep. You can easily keep ADCs at bay because you have this root and this stun on your dash, so that's really convenient. And then the moment that say that ADC or that mage, they want to kind of commit to a team fight, you can pop this ultimate, which makes it really hard for them to kill you. They can't ignore you either because you're just pumping damage on them. So you do a really good job at kind of disrupting team fights and keeping the damage characters at bay.
Right. That's really good to know.
Yeah. You can play him support. I think he does work well as support too. Probably not as good as he does in solo, just because of again, it's mostly a lot of damage abilities. He doesn't have as much of that initiation or like pull that other characters in the support role do. But he's still like a very, again, zoning presence, tanky presence. And he can do a lot, at least as far as that role goes. You can build him full tank and he still does a lot.
Wow. I mean, I've never played him before, so this is actually really interesting for me to know this. He's one of the gods I haven't tried yet, so thank you for the tips. I really appreciate that for next time.
No, I've showed
all right, so let's...
a lot of... Sorry, I was going to say, like, a lot of new players I've kind of gotten into the game. I've showed them, Cthulhu is one of their first, gods that they would try. And all of them were like ecstatic every time, they press 4 for the first time and they see him like blow up into this huge thing, and they're like, oh my god, like I've never played anything like that, or never felt like something like that, right? So that usually hooks them right away. And I think that again goes back to that first point about us wanting to sell him as this really huge character. I think that really did the job on that.
Right. Okay. Well, I hear like a lot of people actually play him in solo, but I'm not a solo player myself, so I haven't tried doing that. But hopefully for the future, I will try to play him as a guardian. I know that you said, you know, you should play him as a solo, but I'm not
No, no,
sure
no.
that's
He's
all right, so.
definitely fine. Yeah, you can definitely play him in support, and he'll do fine. I think he skews more towards solo, but you can play him in support. He definitely has a purpose there and can fit there just fine.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for the tips. All right, so let's go on to your like programming part of this section. I know it was probably very difficult for you to program him. He has a lot of very insane things. So what was the hardest feature to work on, like for this god in particular?
Unironically, for me particularly, it was actually the camera on the ultimate. It's something that a lot of people don't notice when they go in game and they play it, and they go up in the air and they're aiming their abilities, and right now it feels really natural. But for like very early on in his dev cycle, it didn't kind of have that same feeling. We had a version that worked where you can aim and it wouldn't glitch out. And keep in mind, a big part of the problem with SMITE in this aspect was most of our characters are a lot shorter when it comes to that aiming.
Right.
Especially, like the entire lineup, right? Like I guess Jormungandr is one of the few where he actually like scales all the way out when he ults. But for Cthulhu, like his entire model is visible. Everything's there. The camera has to go way up and it has to support all of the different movements. You also need to, we wanted to make sure that you can look up in the sky because we did the skybox. So that actually took a lot of work. And kind of one way I could describe it is like maybe the initial camera, like imagine you have like a stick on your back and there's a camera on the back, and you kind of rotate the camera to aim. But imagine for a really large character where you have to zoom this out all the way, you kind of have the camera going like over your head. It would almost feel like this rocking motion. And that was really mathematically difficult to program out. I actually ended up kind of like messing with it on the weekend, and I had this eureka moment where I'm like, oh my god, this strategy of hooking it up this way is going to work. So I programmed it out, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, like there it is. It's working. It feels great.
Oh, wow.
It's the version that like that polished version I was looking for, because ultimately, right, like I want players to have that fully polished version. So that was like a huge.
So there was a lot
win.
of trial and error for sure, and then finally you're like, whoa, eureka moment.
Yep,
that's awesome.
No, tons of trial and error on that, but I think the final version really came out well.
Gotcha. And I know this is a curious question. So how did you get Insanity, like his passive, working?
Right. So actually a big chunk of that was work from my lead, Nick. He actually developed something called a map tracker for our game, which essentially it's like a sampling algorithm. And the best way to describe it is imagine splitting up the map into a bunch of points, right? Just a bunch of points on the map, and they're kind of like in a grid. And the idea is that every single point, we go and check, hey, is this in play area, or is this in like world geometry or something, right? Like usually those boundaries you're not allowed to enter. The idea was we would populate this grid of all these points that say, yes, this is in play area and this is in world geometry. Because the idea for his passive was you had these tentacles and these eyes spawn, but they kind of have to spawn either on the walls or in the play space. So the map tracker kind of does this for any map. Doesn't matter what map you load up, it just does that sampling algorithm, and it finds where those points are. And then from there, we came up with a kind of efficient way. We have a pool, as what we call it, where we spawn in the tentacles and eyes in like this big pool. And then what we do is anytime that you're walking around and one of these points is in range, we'll take one of those pre-cached tentacles or eyes, and we'll just put it at that spot. And then let's say you walk and now you're out of range where that tentacle wants to despawn. Instead of destroying it and recreating it, we just recycle it. We just pull it back into the pool and push it back into whatever new grid point that you walked into. And that's kind of how we get like all of those tentacles and eyes spawning as you move around and walking around. It's just kind of like all on one big grid.
And did that take a long time to like develop?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think Nick was working on that for at least a couple months. I mean, we were fine tuning it all the way up until the end. And then, obviously the other part that was making sure, it was a little difficult was making sure skinning worked well too, right? Because we ended up doing some extra tech where it's like it's a single object, like a single map tracker that everybody shares. So we had to make sure that, there was skinning logic involved, or if you have two Cthulhus in the game with different skins, making sure that they both use their proper skin. Yeah, that was a big engineering feat too. But we did eventually get that all working, especially with the tier 5 skin. We got a lot of that stuff up and running. So
Oh boy.
it was intense. It was intense.
So were there any other like obscure issues like up until release then?
Yeah, there was another one that I spent a lot of time on, similar to that Eureka moment. His AO3, which a lot of charges for us, they usually don't have much of a pre-fire. You kind of just click and you start charging. His AO3 actually has a bit of a pre-fire, which means that like, you know, you kind of see him, he'll like slam the ground and then he'll go forward, right?
Right.
It's during that kind of pre-fire time, you're still able to move around, and then you start charging. And there was actually some jitter during that, and that's usually when you have, you know, multiplayer games. There's client and server. If they ever disagree on something, then the server corrects you, and that's that jitter that you see. It's that rubber banding. And what ended up happening was I had found, like, I kept cracking my head at this. I'm like, I still feel this jitter. Like, I don't want to see this jitter. This isn't as polished as I'd like it. And I eventually found out we were doing some like correction for timing. Essentially, you know, every client ticks at a certain rate, server ticks at a certain rate. But let's say you have a time, you know, it's like 1 second. You want to wait 1 second. Sometimes each tick could get you just slightly past that 1 second, because obviously it's not like continuous time, it's discrete time. And sometimes when you do that, it's called an overflow, and so we'll correct, and maybe the next timer, whatever that extra distance was, we subtract it from the next timer. And that way it's like you're still as continuous as possible. And because I was doing that, that actually ended up causing disagreements with the client and the server. They were correcting at different ways. And it was saying, you know, maybe the server was starting to charge a little early, or the client was starting to charge a little early, and that was causing the jitter. So once I removed that, again, it was another eureka moment of like, oh my God, there it is. It's working. No more jitter. So I was thrilled.
How close
funny,
to release was that?
Really close, actually. It was, I think it was during PTS that I fixed it.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it's funny, nobody, like, these are the small things, right, that people don't really notice is like going on behind the scenes. But like these things, like, even these small nebulous little ideas, like, end up being really difficult engineering feats sometimes.
Right. You wouldn't think of, you know, you wouldn't know unless somebody told you.
Exactly.
So
right.
I'm
I
so
did
glad that you're here, telling us about this huge Cthulhu dude and his difficulties. All right, so I heard you're telling me that there's some like weirdness with his skin, his tier 5 skin, that you had to, like, some obstacles that you had to deal with. What were those?
Yeah, so one of the first ones was, I mean, he goes through a bunch of different costumes, right? And that's like a really unique thing that
like
we
the
have
pilot
as-
and the cowboy and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's, you know, it's based on all those ability fires. So originally, I think the way we had it was something where every time you would change a costume, we would apply a whole new set of materials to you. And to kind of give a quick primer on materials, so people know, textures, have you ever heard of the word texture? It's usually just like a 2D image or some kind of image. It's like a pattern or something. A material will combine a bunch of different textures and kind of perform operations on it. For example, it can say maybe at this corner there's some opacity here, or maybe we shift it red depending on some variables or something. But it's kind of like a shader for that texture. And that's the material. And the material is what we apply to your model to give it, you know, color and detail and all of that stuff. So originally we had, I think it was like we were swapping out these materials here and there, and then spawning in, you know, like the helmet and things like that. And it definitely wasn't nearly as efficient as we wanted it. And then one of the my coworkers on the tech art side, DJ, he came up with a really clever idea. He had found that there's a way to apply all the materials to the character at once, and then just kind of toggle on and off certain sections of those materials. So for example, when he's in base form, let's say, you know, there's two materials per costume, right? Maybe in base form you can have slot 0 and 1 turned on and everything else turned off. And then let's say you fire AO1s, you go to cowboy, then you could turn off slot 0 and 1 and turn off slot 2 and 3. And that made the system way more efficient. It was much easier to manage, and that was like a huge win. But that was something, you know, we were debating for a little while, because these skins are persistent, these costumes are persistent, these, you know, extra meshes are persistent.
And his whole, like, the whole look, it's just like so new. Like, we've never done, like, you know, anything that looked even close to that cartoony style. So, oh boy. So did you have any other final things that you wanted to say about Cthulhu before we finish up the show?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm just really happy that we got that huge, feeling experience into the game. I don't think there's many other characters, especially in MOBAs, that feel that way, where you can just go into this giant form and just kind of wreak havoc, on the playfield. So I'm really happy with how the team all came together on this God.
Yay! Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being here and talking about Cthulhu with me, and to everyone else, of course. So yeah, everyone, this is Khaos, and say thank you for coming on the show, and hope to have you next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome back, everyone, for one last time. But before we get to the last segment of the show, Tina, I know that you have a question that you are just waiting to ask.
Yes. So I really want to ask you guys, like, since we spoke about Cthulhu, and he's not like a traditional god in a sense, what kind of characters would you guys like want to see in Smite in terms of like legends or myths?
I'll be honest, the first things that come to my mind are not legends nor myths, and I feel really bad because I was like, oh, hey, like, I'd love to see, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters or something, like, from anime, things like that. If I go back further, though, I mean, like, maybe just, like, standard, like, I get, like, a fusion of, like, magician knights, you know what I mean? Like, having, like, someone with a sword that can cast as well, spellcaster, would be really neat, which I guess aren't necessarily myths nor historical. They're just kind of somewhere in the in-between.
Right.
All right. Okay, so hear me out. Street Sharks. Just get all the tanky boys. Get Emir, get Geb, get Odin, get all the tanky boys, and make Street Sharks. That's it. That's
wow.
Honestly, like, sharks are my favorite animal in the entire world, and I think it'd be awesome. It'd be a good little, companion piece, if you will, to the TMNT patch that we did. And also, just who doesn't love Street Sharks?
You guys like went a whole different direction.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I
Peter
my
Pan.
answer now.
But okay, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys being here and answering my questions.
Oh, thank you.
On to the next thing.
I think it's fun. I'm gonna change my answer. I'm gonna say Power Rangers, and then I'm gonna go ahead and queue it up. And this month in Smite is going to be what comes on next. So make sure you stay tuned. Myflin is going to be hosting that, and then right afterward, we're going to be coming back with the actual update show. New God, a lot of changes, a lot of fun. So make sure you stay tuned this month in Smite, and then the update right after. We'll be back.
Welcome to This Month in Smite, the monthly clip show where I, Myflin, I'm Myflin by the way, watch every single bit of Smite content that is produced. I mean, that's between Facebook, the Twitch, Mixer, if Mixer still existed, it doesn't, I'm sorry, everything, I don't know, Tumblr. And I condense it all into one easily consumable video every single month. And this month, September, really generally is not my favorite month. It feels like it's just kind of the Halloween or Christmas waiting room, but as far as Twitch clips are concerned, we're popping off. As always, what better way to start off than by celebrating you guys, the community at home, the viewers, the players that make it all happen. Let's check in with Incon. I think he had like a duel recently or something.
Then came through first anyway. You know what I'm saying? Wait, are we having a 1v1? Are we doing this? Are we having a 1v1? 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 1v?
Not hurting anyone.
I admire his confidence.
Incon was kind of behaving like an 80s school villain, but I guess that's what life demands of you sometimes. I mean, the weak should fear the strong. Anyway, Wowie does everything right in this clip, and it just does not matter.
Okay. That's fair, right, boys?
Wowie may have played perfectly and got punished, but that's not all that can happen to you. Weaken plays not at all, and still gets punished.
I use it pretty consistently. Like I do like a 30 minutes to an hour a day until I feel extremely comfortable in the game. I got predicted. Yeah, I got warded. Look, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Just let me fucking live for 2 seconds.
Moon decided to play some Smite this month, and the community took that personally. They like sniped him. It was gross. I mean, they were in the chat making fun of him, but he's kind of a natural gamer, so he turns it around.
Guys, I think we're losing.
Just a little bit.
Guys.
Why is no one attacking her? She's stunned. I'm dying. No, she's not.
Lazus, yes, actually like OG Lazus, root Dignitas Lazus, came back to Smite, and he has still got it.
No, I was just saying he's there.
Okay.
Just careful. Does Harris have beads?
He does.
Yeah, he does.
No, this
What
pop.
the hell is he doing in mid, bro? Yeah, I'm gonna stand this stanza if he comes in. One idiot. I'm trying to burn this guy's beads. Oh, it's not beads, really. Respect that.
I'm putting a heal on top of him.
No!
Damn, sorry,
I
bro.
didn't crit. No, you're good. I didn't crit. I should have jumped away, really. But... Oh, nice beam. Oh my god, the penta!
Quadra kill! Turn away! Prepare the fight!
A new recurring mini segment of the community is just gonna be me tracking Hazer's slow, methodical descent into madness. It's not because my boss asked me to, it's not even necessarily because the clips are good. I've just taken a personal interest in this.
Woohoo, everybody, it's me, Neil Ma, and these are my 2 World Championship rings. I won them fair and square.
Stop playing.
What the fuck?
Lastly, this one's kind of a callback to the last episode of This Month in Smite. If you remember, like Barbouche was doing that weird like bug thing where he went like that, okay? So Pate kind of did something similar. I don't know, you guys in the community are weird.
You mean surrender? Get the f out of here with your surrender, bitch. The f.
Big Brain, back at it again with those neato bonito plays. You gotta expand your skulls to fit your brain if you wanna maintain a position within this segment of This Month in Smite. It's only for sick plays or anything else. I'm gonna put whatever I want here. It's my show, it doesn't super matter. Roll that. I know Final K is like technically the streamer for this clip, but Tripno's actually the one with like the big brain, okay? So all eyes on the Yanis, and that's it.
Oh, here he's ult. I got caught on the wall there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're just finessing ultimates today, I guess. I know Kraken missed in the last clip, but surely Persephone ult's a little bit easier to land.
Rotate to the Draugr. Oh, Buckwheat uses a pillar to block the Persephone ult.
God, just watch the patience in this clip. This is the only winning line Rexy could have taken. Only enough mana for one ability, half HP, and the boys still need you. Dashboard steps up to those occasions. Oh, look at this! Look at this CC chain! Oh yeah, that's good.
Sí, sí, sí. Aquí, ambos aquí. Aquí. Mi ulti.
Anti-healing, frenzy. ¡Mis FPS!
¿Qué es esto? Mi PC explota. Ayuda.
Estoy muerto yo. Mátalo.
GG.
Izquierda. Nice, one acá.
Bobby is still breaking ankles. Somebody has to stop this guy. He's a menace.
Give me that.
No fucking shot, man. No shot.
Zatman shows us that you don't always really need abilities, auto attacks, or really anything to win in Smite. You just need good positioning and a pretty chunky body. Okay. I mean, I was gonna end this section like with that last clip, but I really don't like how Zatman laughed at that guy. Felt a little bit disrespectful. Here's one more clip.
An ally has been slain.
Wait, what? I don't heal? I killed one, bro. I thought you heal when you kill one. No, don't clip it. That's too late.
There's a new segment this month in Smite called Good or Bad. In this segment, we're gonna just go ahead and show you guys a series of clips, and you can tell me in the comments below or in the comments on Twitch whether or not you think it's gonna go well or poorly for the streamer. I'm making it more than it is. This is easy stuff. Let's just jump straight in. So is there truly no escape?
Oh, wait, what? What? Kill this right I don't know where. What just happened? What? Someone clip that! Someone clip that!
Good. Okay, so you're low HP, you're in the fire giant. What? Aussie's propped. Okay, no, you're fine, you're fine. Wait, did you just step in the firewall?
I don't know. Kind of both.
All right, I mean, the ultimate's down. You've avoided everything. This couldn't possibly go wrong. I mean, this is free schmo.
Oh my god.
Oh. Picked up a bottle of Pepsi and came all the way back up.
Okay, so this guy's jumping on you in mid. In the early game, you're playing an assassin. You're an auto attack assassin. Kali, he's your target. That's easy. Free real estate.
Hey, back up. He's my target.
I'm done.
Yeah, I can't even do anything about that one.
No! Ooh.
I'm gonna keep it real. The majority of the time as a caster, I have to remain unbiased, but this is my show. I hope this guy fails. Kuzenbo players are scum. You think that's too far, maybe?
Good.
All right, guys, that was this month in Smite for September. I hope you had a good time. And again, if you want to have your clips featured every single month, you can submit them in the description down below. Got a little bit of a form there, if you would. Please submit your clips. It makes it so much easier for me. Do you know how hard it is to go through every single clip in every single directory? It's hard, okay? I mean, you don't know, because you don't do it. I do it every time. It's me that has to do it. Make it easier for me, all right? Anyway, yeah, go surf Twitter or something. Easy? Easy enough.
I can see the city through my watered eyes, lets me know that I'm still here. When my eyes clear up, I will go outside. I'll imagine you're still by my side, lets me know that I'm still here. Sometimes I want to run away, to find good times again, to find all my old friends. Run away to the nearest place where I'll find all my old friends. Times I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again. And good times, I said good times, find my friends again. I said I wanna have good times, good times, find my friends again.
Hello, Smite fans. Titan Dandy here, and I am excited to bring you another amazing update show. We are in the Queen of the Banshees update show. So excited, and I have Pawn and Clumsy with me. How are y'all doing?
Doing really fantastic. Doing really well.
Yeah, it's an exciting day.
Mm-hmm.
It very much is. And we have so many things to go over. Off the cuff, we have 8.9 bonus we're going to talk about, community news, 8.10 bonus. We have the new God release we're going to be talking about. And there's something else that y'all are going to see a little later that I'm excited for y'all to get to, and I'm not going to mention anymore. So let's dive right into 8.9 bonus balance. I'm excited to start this. How about Vampiric Shroud? Looks like it's getting some physical protection taken away. Clumsy?
Yeah, I mean, over the last few patches, we've seen a rise of trying to increase Vampiric Shroud into prevalence, and then we saw it dominating, especially in the pro scene. As you guys know, for bonus balance, we usually try and cater those towards more on the pro scene as well as the ranked. And Vampiric Shroud, well, we're decreasing its protections by just a little bit, so that maybe Guardians aren't just overshining Warriors constantly in that lane, but we want to see a little bit of each.
Sounds good. Next up, we're moving into Jotun's Wrath, if I'm saying that right, getting some decreased physical power. How about that, Pun?
Yeah, so for Jotun's Wrath, we've did a whole bunch of buffs to all the junglers, really to bring assassins back into the meta, and that's actually what we've seen. Especially in Pro League, we've seen junglers come back in a really big wave with assassin playstyle. But we did give, I think a grand total of 30 to 40 power over a whole bunch of items. Yeah. We're just going to tone that back a hair. So 5 power off Jotun's Wrath. We really like that item is now cheaper, so it's more easily built. We just want to make the cost match a bit more with the power it's providing. And then the next item, Transcendence, is also going to get a small power reduction.
Awesome. Well, yeah, and that does it for the items in the bonus patch. Next up, we have some gods. Looks like Serket is kind of having a shift with her Last Breath ability. What's that looking like, Clumsy?
Yeah, so, I mean, with the map changes we've had, as well as ever since mid-season, we've seen a little bit more Serket, but there's always been the issue with a couple of these assassins, where we've noticed that, when we see them rise up, they might be a little bit more in the Guardian role. So just like we've done previously, Serket's going to be getting a base damage decrease, but a scaling increase. This should help her, find that balance between her roles.
Awesome. Sounds good. After that, it looks like Raijin is also kind of getting a shift in the bonus patch with Thunder Crash. How about that, Pon?
Yeah, so Raijin's been another character that's been really doing well in the Pro League, and one thing that we got talked to about was that Thunder Crash. It does that initial AoE damage, and then it mezzes and does the follow-up damage, and this can sometimes, depending on how it gets interrupted, mean that you get some extra free damage. And so now we've moved all that damage onto just the landing, so the only initial part does the mezz, and then when you actually fully teleport, does all the damage come out. And we've also reduced that damage scaling, so it's just not as impactful. So overall, makes this damage a bit more predictable and less spread out, as well as is overall lower on that leap when used aggressively.
Love predictable, helps me avoid being destroyed by it. Next up, we have Artio getting a nerf to Energy Surge. What's that looking like, Clumsy?
So Artio kind of came out of nowhere. We gave her a couple of buffs, and we didn't expect her to just rise in prevalence. Of course, with Vampiric Shroud and the new solo lane meta, it made sense. So we're going to be decreasing Energy Surge and therefore Maul Praise cooldowns by 1 second. That alongside the Vampiric Shroud changes, we're hoping those will be enough for now without, just gutting the character.
Awesome, yeah. Cerberus also getting a nerf alongside that. Ghastly Breath looks like some protection debuff changes. What's going on there, Pon?
Mm-hmm. Another really popular Guardian kind of solo laner or can flex into the support role as well. And one thing that really stood out on him was just that a Ghastly Breath protection shred was just so impactful. And so again, we're being a little bit cautious here. We don't want to over nerf this character because we are also adjusting Vampiric Shroud.
Yeah.
But we're reducing that protection debuff so that when you're brawling directly into him, you're not going to have so much of a protection disadvantage, especially early on in the game. Makes him a bit more fair to fight against.
Yeah, I definitely felt the shred when I stood in that breath for too long. So finally, we have Hell getting a nerf as well to the Inspire ability.
Yeah, so a lot of the themes you're going to see are a lot of revolving around that soul lane, as well as the mages that can use Vampiric Shroud well. Hell, we've seen her a lot in the soul lane. We're even seeing her being quite powerful in the mid lane. And we've touched her healing on other characters a lot. We didn't want to do that here. We wanted to address not just her wave clear, because we know that needs to be decently strong for her to survive in mid lane or even solo lane. So we want to have her healing minions slightly less. So that way, when she's really chunking the your minions, she's not healing her own as much. We think that should be slightly less oppressive at lane.
Cool. Sounds good. And that wraps up the 8.9 bonus balance. So y'all can be looking for that. That'll be coming October 5th. So make sure y'all are on the lookout for that, and you can read the bonus update notes.
I do want to note one real quick thing as well. We've got a couple of things that we were addressing with the pro play this weekend, and just to get a little bit more time on. So you're going to see a few more meta nerfs coming into the main patch as well.
Awesome. And so again, October 5th, you can check the bonus update notes for that, which are live now. And awesome. On those bonus update notes, you're also going to see the skins we're about to talk about. Yeah. So Again, October 5th, 8.9 is coming out with some skins, and the Odyssey Perilous Seas event will be getting the Wise Hair Athena skin. So let's take a look at that. Ooh, like that. I totally. Oh yeah, that's awesome.
I was looking at the little guy's carrot pen in his glasses as well. I love the one taking notes on the side.
Yeah, that's so awesome. I love the pink too. Like the pink and green really pop together. Oh, that is super cute.
This whole card art is awesome.
I totally love it.
Ooh.
Oh, looks great in game too.
I was going to say the colors really come out from the card art into the in-game model. So well done to the team. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool.
It's so
I think
thematic.
that
The shoulder
It's just
pads
like
too.
Kirsch.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's so good.
I mean, another layer, orange, we're moving into fall, so it's really checking all the boxes here. This is
Love it.
super awesome. I absolutely adore it. What a good skin. Plus, I love Athena, so super excited for that. So cool. Do we have voice line? Yeah, let's run voice line. All right, sounds like the voice line is kind of having some issues right now. So she has a cool voice, though. I mean, obviously they always do. So let's jump on. Next up, same in Odyssey Perilous Seas. We have Molten Machina Fenrir. Ooh, that looks good.
Oh, I've not seen this one before. This is super cool.
That is so awesome. I absolutely love that. I love too, like the dripping lava and.
I was gonna say the same thing. The dripping lava coming from his maw is super cool.
Yeah, I love this line of skins, like the kind of mech skins with the floating pieces. Absolutely one of my favorite type of skins. Let's see what it looks like. Oh. That is so great.
Yeah,
I love
the floating pieces all coming together and like conjoined with energy is sweet.
Yeah, and I love like that fiery core. It's kind of right there in the middle of the chest and the back of the arms too. Like,
right.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I super love it. Wow. Let's run the voice line.
Extermination is coming.
Yeah, wow. That seems like it. I feel like I'm going to get exterminated. Not excited to have that jump at me. So the next thing is from the Chosen One chest, and it's actually the Chosen Dragon Ao Kuang. Let's take a look at that card art.
Oh, hello.
That looks awesome. Dang. Look at that sword.
And the dragon form in the background in the sky.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh, yeah.
That's
Wow.
sweet. We're liking this.
Yeah, we're big liking this.
I can hear Lermy's voice in my head saying that this is a top tier.
Yeah, 100%.
Is that the dragon in the back? The
Yeah,
one
I think so.
Yeah,
The one in the sky.
Oh man.
Very cool.
That is so awesome. Let's see what it looks like in game. Let's check that out. Ooh, I like that a lot.
Yeah, I love the color scheme on his tunic and stuff.
Yeah, and
Very
the way
sweet.
it works into that aura around him at his feet. Absolutely amazing looking. Plus that shoulder plate.
I was
going
gonna
to
say that pauldron is definitely standing out.
Wow, absolutely fantastic. Let's hear what the voice line sounds like on this one.
I shall have my revenge.
And his revenge he shall have. That's an awesome skin. The last one coming out in the 8.9 bonus update is going to be Deep Sea Scotty, which I'm super excited about. I love this one. Oh, there it is.
Wait
It's
a
a
second.
shark.
I was gonna ask. It's gonna be on
Oh.
land. I'm curious.
That is so awesome.
He has little like back robot legs.
Yeah. Look at him.
no.
Good little shark boy. So this one, actually, fun fact about this, is a community concept skin from Wolf Dog Art. So thank you,
Nice.
Wolf Dog Art. This is super exciting. Let's see what it looks like in game.
Oh my god, it's a land shark.
It is actually a land shark.
That is so threatening.
That is terrifying.
Oh, I love the way that the orange jumpsuit kind of works with the blue of the shark too. That's
Land
really,
shark.
yeah. Land shark. All right, let's hear what she sounds like.
Alright, boy.
What discoveries do you think we'll find in the ocean today?
That is, oh, that's great. I love the way it sounds like you have the audio from inside the helmet too.
Yep.
Absolutely amazing. But yeah, that is the last of the skins coming out with the 8.9 bonus update. Again, live on October 5th. But before we move on to community news, we have something to share with y'all. Oh, that is right. Hi-Rez Showcase and the SMITE World Championship are on the way. We are getting prepped for them even now, and we are so excited. So as you saw in the video, you can look forward to those happening early 2022. That's January, starting on Thursday the 6th and going all the way through the 9th. So Hi-Rez Showcase, like you saw in the video, is going to have all kinds of things going on. That's Thursday the 6th, and it's going to have cosplay contests, meet and greets, dev panels, community war, just so many things happening in the showcase itself. And then we're going to roll right out of the showcase into the World Championships, which will be going from that Friday, which is the 7th through the 9th. It's just going to be huge. It's a huge event, and we're excited to have y'all tune in. So make sure to hit that hashtag SWC at home and join us January 2022 for another amazing Hi-Rez Showcase and SMITE World Championship. Super excited about it. So rolling out of that, we also currently have, if you're a Prime Gaming subscriber, if you have Amazon Prime, Prime Gaming has the Sacred Arrow Rama skin available right now that you can pick up. Super excited about that. Make sure that you grab that. That is available right now. Now, you'll remember the last time we talked about Prime Gaming skins, we showed y'all what was coming next. The Krang Xingtian skin is coming next. That one's going to be coming in October 14th. So we have a little while for that. Also a Prime Gaming skin, though. But after that, we figure we would give y'all a little teaser of what's coming next. And that is Retro Raphael Loki. So we're getting another Raphael skin for Loki. Again, a Prime Gaming skin. And we are super excited for y'all to see it.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
just look at it. Absolutely amazing. I love the red mask. So
that's just
super
nuts.
Yeah.
I can't
Totally
believe how well
agree.
this looks. Like the comic book kind of shading. I love this.
I love it with the bold black lines too. Super good. And again, this is a Prime Gaming skin. So this one's gonna be a while. We have to wait till November for this one, because Krang is next. But look out for this, and definitely be excited for the Prime Gaming skins coming, because back-to-back bangers. Another thing worth talking about is that we are currently running a whole week of Party Up. So y'all might have seen about it earlier, but play with your friends this week. Until next Tuesday, you can hop in, and if you're playing in a party, then you're going to earn additional rewards at the end of the game, worshippers and experience and such. So make sure that you're playing with your friends all week, not just the weekend, right now through next Tuesday. Make sure you're getting in there and enjoying that. And finally, in community news, we are also running a Refer a Friend event. This is currently running as well, and it starts today. And what you do is you have to play 10 games with a friend who's not played the game in a while or not played the game at all. And if you play 10 games with them and they're on your friends list and with your accounts and everything, then on October 7th, you'll earn a chest. So here are the rules on screen again. But yeah, so make sure that you invite a new friend. Get your friends into SMITE. We're always excited to have new people join the community. And we're excited to be able to give people rewards just for joining the game. So that wraps up community news. Lots of good things. Super excited about Hi-Rez Presents and all of the SMITE World Championship, of course, and then all of the amazing new skins coming out with Amazon and Prime Gaming. Just so many good things. So from community news, we're going to jump right into some more balance, kind of balance you can expect moving into 8.10. And the first thing we're going to talk about is some Joust balance. So let's get into it. looks like Joust is having some changes for the Chinese Joust map. What are those going to look like?
Yeah, so the big thing here for the Chinese Joust map is one thing that we've noticed with people playing it, especially with the kind of changes that's happened since the Joust map was out, is that the kind of level pacing that players have come to expect doesn't quite match with what's happening in Joust currently, as well as the difficulty of some of the objectives on the map feeling like they'd be taken too early. So we're doing two things to really address that. The first one is that we're going to be increasing the split bonus, so that people just generally level up faster. They get closer to 20 or 20 before the game ends versus getting to like maybe only like 15. As well as Bull Demon King is going to be just stronger in general, so it's going to be harder to take, harder for that carry to go back off the first or second item and just go solo it really quickly. It's going to be more of a team objective that needs to be worked on versus something that can be soloed. As well as we fixed a whole bunch of other stuff around the map with like things going through walls that they shouldn't be going through. The Joust map has a whole bunch of walls that they kind of like fire through them, and so we fixed a lot of the issues regarding that as well.
Awesome. Well, always nice to hear that Joust is only becoming more fun and more scary because of the Bull Demon King. So, next up, we have some conquest things to talk about, but we think it'd be better to share this with y'all first. So, here, how about you enjoy this real quick?
Bring change, but Tiamat's war is constant. For the first time, snow blankets the battleground. Will the lanterns of the battleground give sight through the blinding flurries, or hide more dangers within? Spring leads to summer, summer to fall. And as snow falls on the battleground, so too will the gods. In the winter, Deadwoods.
Welcome to the Winter Deadwoods. So, welcome to the Winter Deadwoods. So exciting. I mean, yeah, that's it. We have a winter map. Y'all excited?
Yeah, very excited.
This is so cool. I mean, we've done the Conquest refreshes, and like this is something that I think people have been wanting for a while, is to bring back this kind of wintry theme.
Yeah, and I mean, and from everyone I've talked to, it's something we've wanted to do for a while, and we finally were able to get it in there. We're finally able to do this for y'all, and I think we get to see the map in game. So let's see what that looks like. Let's get in there.
Yep. So we can see
Here we
that
are.
the map is all snowy. It's covered in snow. Everywhere around it.
Oh, that is so cool. I absolutely love this. Like. And so I know that with this map too, we're getting some, not only is it a beautiful visual update with all of the snow and just the aura of the map, but I hear that there are also a few little mechanical differences that we're going to get to see gameplay-wise. You mind showing those to us?
Yeah, so the major big difference that I'm sure people have seen from me walking around here is these little lanterns that are around at various key locations. So you can see here we have a mist lantern, and if I choose to break it, the fog of the jungle takes over, and you're now invisible here. So this is an area where now players can break that and hide there to jump their opponents at any given point.
That is so awesome. And so how long do those last? How long does that little vision mist last?
We've messed around with it for a little bit, but I think it's about 2 minutes. So when you break this, enemies have a pretty clear tell that someone was here and they did something. But it could very well be that maybe they are still there. Maybe they broke that half a minute ago. Maybe they broke that a minute ago. You don't necessarily know. There are a few rules though that you can use to help. So for example, if you actually ward inside of one, you actually are fully revealed. So like if I was hiding here and they had a ward in this fog, they would actually be able to see me just perfectly clearly. So there are some counterplay options that you have available to you at any given point. As well as when they cast abilities or do certain actions, they're also temporarily revealed. A lot of the rules from Medusa's Deathmatch, a lot of those rules kind of hold here. So if you played that mode, where it had this kind of similar kind of stealthing mechanic, it's very similar in a lot of ways. So definitely buy wards and ward this up if you don't want to get spooked.
Yeah, I can see there are a lot of.
I was going to say on the mini map as well. There's several different locations where those mist lanterns are going to be.
Yeah, an awesome way to maybe surprise somebody trying to get to an objective, or even just a good way to burn a ward. Because if you go into the enemy's jungle and break one of those, then they see that. They're going to be like, well, do I walk by it? Do I take a longer route? Do I throw a ward? So lots of gameplay elements there. That is super awesome. I'm super excited about this. And just the map looks so great.
Yeah, there's tons of details all over the place with it now being more snow themed. Some things from previous maps are still here. So I think the shipwreck and the fish that are over there in Dual Lane, that's still very much present. Obviously, Draugr is still here. We still have green buff, and I believe there've been a few small mechanical changes, just like their timings and everything and their strength, to further go along with this map.
Green buff has gotten a little bit more of a reward for that support buff, and the Draugr buff in the main 2 Draugr, I believe it's called, is going to be spawning now at 1 minute on the clock instead of the 35 seconds.
Yeah, so it just some awesome changes to some gameplay elements, but overall just an amazing to look at map. I'm super excited to get into this map and play myself, and convince my entire team to hide in one of those hidden mist circles and jump on somebody trying to go get an objective. It's just so many fun gameplay elements I'm excited to play with. So yeah, this is super awesome. And again, y'all can expect to be able to get into this with the 8-10 balance, which is going live October 19th. So look out for this and be ready to try this out in the PTS and tell us what you think. So I think that's good. So awesome. So next we're gonna get into the nitty gritty. We're going into balance for 8-10, which again goes live October 19th. So that is the Queen of Banshees update, and there's so many things to talk about. We're gonna just dive right into it head first. The first of which is Elixir of Defense is kind of getting a buff to its damage mitigation. What's that looking like, Clumsy?
Yeah, and this one we really wanted to make sure that the offensive elixir buff was, not overshadowing the elixir of defense. Of course, there's going to be a lot of times where you're going to want that offensive elixir to kind of push through backdoor protections and really start closing out the game. But we hear you guys from, the support side of stuff, we're going to be increasing the mitigations from 5 to 10% to try and keep those a little bit more in line.
Always love to hear it. I love my tank, so the beefier the better. Next up, we have the Warding Sigil kind of getting a shift to just a whole bunch of things. Pawn, what's happening here?
Yeah, so one thing that we were looking at when we were looking at the whole solo lane meta and how things were interacting, one thing that always fell out of favor was Warding Sigil. And the general consensus we got was aggression was the thing that you really wanted in solo lane, as well as if Warding Sigil was good enough in its defense to be like the go-to meta item, the meta in solo lane would probably be boring. And so we're looking to learn lessons from how Warrior's Axe work, how Vampiric Shroud work, how the Fighter's Mask meta kind of works, and really making sure that Warding Sigil feels like it's a good starting item for what people want in the solo role, which is to actually brawl each other, with a little flavor as defense as its strength. So Warding Sigil is getting a shift. It's now getting physical power, which means that it will be a physical only item, so only warriors can get this. We've adjusted a lot of the stats, so it now has both protections and the actual dampening passive. When you're hit by an ability, you get a stack of dampening. That went from being flat damage reduction to protections as well. So the goal here is that you get that extra physical power you really need to brawl effectively, and you get your protections as the extra little flavor of strength, just like Warrior's Axe has the Steel Health as its extra strength, Bluestone as Wave Clear as its strength, and then Vampiric Shroud is just the general kind of all-rounder for Guardians. So making this a warrior-only item, as well as focusing on that aggression to make sure that we're not creating kind of a stale solo lane. And you can see this go out through all the upgrades as well. So Sigil the Old Guard, similarly getting a ton of stat shifts. We've just listed out its stats here, so you have 200 health, 35 physical power, 75 magical power, 45 physical power, and this has the same exact passive it did before. And then finally, Infuse Sigil, again getting a whole stat shift. It has 350 health, 50 physical power, less prots than Sigil of the Old Guard because that's really the defensive one. And the actual passive component here, it's the when you get hit by abilities, you kind of build up energy and then explode. The only change here to that passive is that's now physical damage because again, this is now a physical only item for warriors. It makes sense for that to do physical damage.
Of course, yeah. Wow, that is a whole lot of stuff changing, but I love watching the meta shift and the items kind of work into being for their character, so super excited. Next up, it looks like an upgrade for War Banner is also having a shift. What's that looking like?
Yeah, so War Flag was updated to provide protections, but the upgrades to the starter weren't changed at all. So War Banner is going to be getting this heavy shift where we're going to be removing all the power on it, but we're going to be adding protections instead. Spartan Flag will still be there as the power option for the tree, though.
Cool. Awesome to hear. Boomba's Dagger also kind of getting a nerf. How's that looking?
And so this currently goes with the other kind of jungle changes we talked about in the bonus balance. We gave junglers a lot of extra power in their build, and Bumba's Dagger has a lot of extra utility, and then when we put that power on top of it, it not only became very good for junglers, but it also became good for other roles. We saw Carrie starting to pick it up. We hear rumblings about potentially other roles even picking it up. And so just to kind of preempt that, we're going to take away some of the power, making sure that it feels a bit more fair to build against. If you're choosing to build it instead of a more dedicated starter to your role, you're going to feel that power hit a bit more by keeping it still much stronger than it was for junglers than pre-patch. This is still a pretty significant increase from what it had before, which was no power.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
Cool. Next up is Mannequin Scepter getting a nerf to its burn damage, it looks like.
Yeah, one of the things that Mannequin Scepter really excelled at was doing super high damage to jungle bosses, especially those jungle scorpions. So with the changes to Boombas, we want to make sure that Mannequins still was hit by this nerf so that it doesn't just start to, overshadow Boombas again or the other options. So Mannequin's Mace, the upgrade, will still provide the 4x burn effect, but not the starter Mannequin Scepter.
Got it. Awesome. Leather Cowl also kind of getting a nerf to some of the NP5 and the lifesteal. How's that going, Pawn?
So before the Bumbas kind of came in and shook things up, we were also seeing a lot of Leather Cowl because it was your go-to for everything. And so when we are nerfing Bumba's Dagger, because we saw that kind of come into play, we were like, well, we're going to go mostly back to Hunter's Cowl. The other stars aren't going to get much play as well. And so we just want to also nerf that as well. It would feel weird to just nerf Bumbas but not nerf this to potentially increase other items being purchased. So a small decrease to the MP5, a small decrease to the lifesteal. It still has kind of that all-around stat spread, but if you really want sustain, you should be going Death Toll. If you want more offensive capability, that's where you can get your Gilded Arrow. But for Leather Cowl, it was kind of too good at everything.
Got it. And its upgrade is also getting a nerf, it looks like, the actual Hunter's Cowl itself in the attack speed area.
Yep, similar story here. It was like the go-to upgrade. That extra attack speed and aura for your team gave you a lot of free attack speed. It was just it was overshadowing other choices.
Cool. Always nice to bring it down and let everything else have a good chance. See it, watch the game change. Pridwin is also getting some changes. Looks like a shift. And again, just a lot going on with Pridwin. So what's happening?
Yeah, Pawn, do you want to talk about this one?
Oh yeah, sure. So Pridwin, it was the kind of go-to for a lot of the assassin supports, as well as we were seeing tanky junglers and even assassin junglers kind of flex this as like a one-item tank choice, because it does give you a lot of survivability. The shield is really potent even when you don't have that much protections built, because it provides enough, and it worked off your base physical protection and magical protection. So we've changed it now so it actually works off only protections from items. So it no longer considers your base tankiness in that calculation, which means that now you have to actually build multiple tank items if you really want it to be strong. So roughly the way this worked out was, if you're kind of running the standard Gilgamesh build, had a few protection items in there, this is going to be pretty significantly weaker than it was before. But if you're the Guardian who's built 4 tank items and you throw a Pridwin on top of that, you're actually probably going to be stronger this time around. You'll have a stronger shield and a stronger burst AoE that happens. So really shifting this so that you just can't flex it as that one single item in your build to become tanky. You have to really play around it and build into it for it to be effective.
Awesome. Cool. And then finally, it looks like Spectral Armor is getting a nerf to the way it handles magical critical strikes.
Yeah, so this is less of a nerf to Spectral Armor and definitely more of it's pretty targeted buff towards Oleron specifically. It's going to have applications against Fail Not as well for the mages that do get enhanced by that buff. But Hunters can opt into Critical Strike, right? And we can see then Guardians and Warriors pick up Spectral Armor in return for that, but Oleron doesn't really have a choice. He is always going to be hitting with his magical crits based off his power due to his passive. So we've heard a lot from the community as well from the pros that if Spectral Armor is as strong as it is, then Oleron probably will not be able to shine. So we want to give Oleron his time in the sun as well, and I think the Spectral Armor nerf is pretty fair.
Awesome. Yeah, excited to see that. Excited to see Oleron enjoying his crits a little more, I guess, huh? Next we're moving into the gods. The first god that's getting touched on is Raijin, actually getting a nerf to Taiko drums. Pawn, what's happening there?
Yeah, so Clumsy had actually mentioned it where we had some more coming into the main patch. There was a huge meta shakeup that we had for the last patch with economy changes, jungle world changes. A lot was in flux. Some characters that we knew could potentially be really good, we weren't quite sure, and so we didn't want to preemptively double down until we saw play. And so because of that, we had to delay some of our changes to the main patch because we have to make sure we get changes in time to make the bonus balance patch. So the goal is, we saw Raijin and Tiamat still doing really well after we saw them play over the weekend, so we felt they needed more additional nerfs to what we did in bonus balance. So here they are. So Raijin, Taiko Drums, items, we are decreasing the magical power scaling from 50% per shot to 40%. So just lowering his overall damage output, especially when he kind of pumps like all damage into focusing a target. This will decrease his overall damage pretty significantly, especially once he gets to like mid and late game when he has a lot of power. But this should help bring him more into line with other mages.
Awesome. And then, yeah, much like you mentioned, next up is also Tiamat, who's getting a nerf as well to Death Begets Life and Primordial Onslaught. So kind of same thing with the Raijin, I guess, right?
Right, exactly. You know, we've seen Tiamat still rise in prevalence in casuals as well as ranked, as well as, of course, in the SPL scene. Raijin and Tiamat kind of vying for that mid lane supremacy. Tiamat has two main strengths that people talk about a lot. Her late game damage, especially, we believe, coming from the first ability, Primordial Onslaught, as well as when she goes into the ground form, she's a little bit tankier than a lot of people would expect. So we want to still make sure that she feels tankier that mode. She's also going to be, you know, doing her melee basic attacks. Her abilities don't scale as high. But we're going to be slowly bringing down that mitigation to make sure we don't go too crazy at once. So 5% there and a little bit of scaling on Primordial Onslaught.
Awesome. I'm excited to see how they work after this, how they run. Next up, we have Achilles getting a buff to combat dodge. So what's that looking like, Bon?
Yeah, Achilles definitely has some memorable moments of being really strong, but since a lot of the previous nerfs, he hasn't really seen too much play. So we want to just kind of help him out there. And one thing that seems to be a bit lackluster is his ability to kind of brawl and effectively clear the wave earlier on. And so increasing the base damage of combat dodge to help, especially when he's aggressive and uses it to get double combat dodge procs on the wave. This will just overall help his clear out, help his poke, help his ability to fight in lane, and hopefully give him a chance to be able to fight among all the rest of the warriors.
Yeah, awesome. Him diving in is going to be looking forward to it. Agni is also getting a buff, it looks like, across 3 abilities. What's going on with that, Clumsy?
Yeah, these buffs are fire. So Agni's always been the...
I get it.
Yeah. Agni's always been like the quintessential perfectly balanced mage, but that's something that we like to say because he's also one of our oldest gods. And, you know, when he does rise in prevalence, as we've seen before, people are very quick to say that he needs nerfs. But it's been a little while since then. And a lot of people have been saying that Noxious Fumes is kind of just not as exciting as it could be, even though it's something that you use in conjunction with other abilities. So we've added a little bit of that heat. Noxious Fumes, now when you use it in conjunction with other abilities, where it usually would just stun, does also an extra burst of damage. So 20 to 100 plus 20% magical power scaling for that combination of abilities. We think that's really gonna, you know, make Agni players pretty happy, as well as a couple of other mana shifts. Flame Wave, we're gonna be decreasing the mana cost just a little bit off the top end to make sure he doesn't suffer from mana issues, as well as increasing the mana on Rain of Fire. Now, a lot of people did mention that 0 mana cost on Rain of Fire is kind of odd. 10 may seem pretty odd to you as well, but it's gonna be a little bit, especially if he's using multiple meteors at a time, and it's also gonna allow him to trigger certain mana-based item effects like Gem of Focus. So you could see that as a nerf, or you could even see it as a buff.
God, well, he's going to be on fire in the battleground soon. I can already feel it. So next up, Amaterasu getting a buff as well to Divine Presence and Heavenly Reflections. What's going on there, Pon?
Amaterasu, another character we just didn't really see much, not much rank contention, not much SPL contention at all. And one of those characters that we know she brings unique strengths to the team, but if she's not being valued, that means they're just not quite strong enough. So she does have decently strong clear, she has some self-mitigating tools and teamfight tools, but she's not quite bringing enough. So Divine Presence is getting that increased power from Valor Aura. This means that she's going to be able to empower her team more effectively, especially at earlier ranks. It scales to the same value. So this means that if she's rotating early or just brawling in lane, she's going to be a bit more effective. And then Heavenly Reflections, we're increasing that self-mitigation from 3% to 15% to 7% to 15%. So that earlier on, especially when you're brawling, when you're rotating into the mid-game fights, you're going to have extra self-mitigation so that you can actually dive into the MA team and do what you need to do as a Moderos, especially get those basic attacks off to trigger your passive.
Always love to hear somebody's being more ready for a fight. Almost couldn't get that out. Looks like Kernunos is also getting a buff to the Wild Hunt. What's happening there, Clumsy?
Yeah, so with the maces coming into play, you know, we expect to see a little bit more Sononos, especially because he's an ability hunter, but, you know, he can really work well with crit or even chin size too, so it makes sense. One thing that players have been asking for a while is for his ultimate, the Wild Hunt, to actually deal damage to minions and non-god entities too, so we're finally going to be doing that. This is almost a quality of life increase. It is a buff because you can definitely play aggressively in lane, you know, hit minions as well as the enemy god at the same time to make sure there's a little bit of pressure off of you, but I think this is going to be something that makes a lot of Sononos players happy.
Awesome, yeah. I can definitely see that getting a lot of use and utilizing the damage on minion waves for just helping win engages a little easier. Next up, Charybdis getting A whole lot of buff, actually, kind of across the board. What's happening with that, Pawn?
Actually, we'll let Clumsy take this one.
Clumsy, yeah, go for it, Clumsy.
Yeah, there's
All
a whole... Damn. You got it right. There we go. Charybdis has a whole bunch of stuff coming in here, and we stay true how design wants to make sure that when a new god is released, we give them some time to really find their place in the meta, as well as for casual players to kind of learn to play as and against the characters. Now, of course, with Charybdis' release, there were a couple of unfortunate bugs that took some time for us to be fixed. We fixed a couple of those in bonus balance, then we fixed a couple more of those in the main patch, and we've definitely seen that she has gotten a little bit better. Emphasis on the little, because she could use a whole plethora of buffs, as we're seeing here. She, I believe, is statistically performing very low, and which is why kind of the justification on us touching several different parts of her kit. So going into them a little bit, we wanted to address different parts of her kit, but specifically her in-hand trading, so her basic attack trading. So her increased base physical power from 34 to 38. This is slightly more in line with other hunters. We thought with the triple attacks, maybe her pressure against in lane might be a bit too high, but I think we've seen the opposite be the case. So bringing her in line there should help a little bit, as well as the triple shot basics. Again, those come out really fast, but it's also a DPS loss if you're missing either of them, right? Because it's 33%, you're not even getting to 100%. Now, if you're hitting all three of them, it's going to be a DPS gain because you're actually hitting multiple parts of a basic attack skill shot. Raging Tide, so this is the passive. We're decreasing the item damage reduction. This is a buff from 35% to 30%. We saw a lot of people saying that this might have been a little bit too strong of a reduction effect for things like chin size, so we're bringing this back down a little bit. We want to make sure that she still has other ability item synergies in mind, like critical strike chance should still be strong on her. We didn't want to overshadow that, and that's not being reduced by this passive. Spike shot as well, where we're going to be increasing the damage done to minions through that reduction mechanism again. So it previously would do 60% of damage at rank 1 through the minion wave. Now it's going to be doing 80%. Again, we talked about her trading and her efficacy in lane against other enemies. Even though she's got two pretty decent abilities to help clear wave, we still think that she needed a little bit of help there. Finally, also on this ability, Spike Shot, we're going to be increasing the splinter damage when you actually hit enemy gods, right? So this isn't just the bounce damage that you get from hitting walls, but it also will directly impact when you hit a god. So when you pop the stim, you hit enemies with Spike Shot, they will take more damage too. And finally, the Mahungers, we're going to be looking at many different ways to try and help Charybdis players use this a little bit more efficiently, and one of those ways is going to be now, unlike Scylla, she actually gains Omni movement speed, kind of like what Hanbots does with the second ability while she's in her ultimate state.
Whew.
Lots of changes.
Man,
I think I covered
Charybdis
everything.
players. I think you did as well. And yeah, again, for you Charybdis players, congratulations. Lots of new fun coming, lots of new potential. Make sure that you check the update notes as well, because there's a lot of stuff happening. We have all of this in the update notes, so you can follow along there too. But that's awesome, so look out for that. Mulan also getting a buff, and this is happening to her training arc, actually. What's going on there?
Yeah, one thing about Mulan is she has to kind of train her skills as she gets through the match, but that can sometimes, depending on how the lane's going, how the game's going, that can sometimes take quite a bit of time. And so we want to give her a bit more control and ability to actually level that up on her own. So the first one is that we're actually just going to be lowering the overall skill requirement that you would need to acquire to that. From, I believe, 600 to 6,000, from like 1, 2, 3 to 500 to 5,000. So just a pretty decent reduction there. But the second one is we're actually going to make it so that you gain more skill when you use this against minions. So when the other character isn't there, you can't necessarily fight directly with the other character. You can still build up your meter pretty effectively against the minion wave themselves.
That'll be really handy. And I want everybody to know that was something that the Olympians kind of brought to us. So make sure you're talking to the Olympians. They bring us stuff all the time, and we really do try to work it in. So thank y'all, Olympians. Next up, Alrun also getting a buff to Overflowing Divinity. So what's happening with that?
So we talked about Spectral Armor being one component of why Olrun may not be actually used that often. Another component is just, even when people aren't being Spectral Armor, buying Spectral Armor, as we saw a lot, he's still not really that strong. So we want to do small buffs at a time. So Spectral Armor is one, and the second one is the second ability, Overflowing Divinity, is going to be doing a little bit more damage per each shot, but it's still going to be capping to the same amount. I think it was like 90%. So your first couple of shots with the Sun Fiery Projectile will be dealing more damage.
Awesome. Super good. Next up, Sylvanas, also getting a buff to Nature's Bounty, which is his new passive, right?
Yep, his new passive. So with his new passive, we saw a lot of people pick him up, and they're doing about as well, maybe actually a little bit worse than the kind of random root passive. That probably saved people more than they realized. And one piece of feedback that we've really gotten is that, especially as a support Sylvanas, you're often not able to get to 20 to really make use of that 1 second cooldown reduction to be a big boy late game. And so we're just going to decrease that to 17, make it match more directly with our other kind of support specific level thresholds, and we're just going to see where it goes from there. A lot of people are starting to figure out how they can leverage this to have really good early mana sustain. A lot of people are figuring out how they can use this to like group up mini waves and get a whole bunch of procs. So we're going to see how people continue to play around with this before we do any further adjustments to it. But this one should be just a nice quality of life change, so you can actually play most of your games with the full 1 second strength of Nature's Bounty.
Yeah, getting to that earlier is going to be wild for sure. The mini game of collecting all those seeds it's an interesting dance. Finally, Vulcan is as well getting a buff to Earthshaker. So what's happening there, Clumsy?
Well, Vulcan's one of those gods where, if you see a good one in lane, you're kind of scared because he has a lot of potential, but he's really not doing all that well. And we've seen a lot of people actually, clamoring for Vulcan to get a couple of buffs. We wanted to be very careful with what we chose, and Earthshaker is one of those abilities where it's kind of the make or break for Vulcan. If you immune that ability or use an Aegis, he's probably going to just get killed pretty quickly. So we're going to be reducing the cooldown, scaling, going to, 70 seconds at rank 5 for Vulcan's ultimate, and that should help him throughout the game, put a little bit more threat onto the enemy team, kind of in a similar way that Rod does.
Awesome. Well, that does it for the balance with the 8.10 update. Again, going live October 19th. Super excited about it. Make sure to check the update notes to review all of what we just talked about. But next up, we will have the 8.10 skins. See you there.
Why settle for less when we can be whoever we choose?
You fight without honor. What's wrong? Are you lagging behind?
What do you mean? I'm neat!
Super exciting. And welcome back, Smite fans. You might notice I have two amazing new guests here with me. We have Titan Forge Tina and Lermy Wormy here with me. How are y'all doing?
Good. How are you doing, Dandy?
I am fabulous. It is Wednesday. It's been a good week. It's been a busy week. Obviously, I mean, you can see we've had so many things we're working on. I'm sure it's been the same for y'all. But yeah, super excited. And actually, I wanted to start. Lermy, I wanted you to give a little more introduction. I hear you've been moving and shaking a little bit.
Yeah, so some of you guys in the community might know me from, streaming, casting. I've done a lot of stuff in my time with Smite, but over the past month, I've actually transitioned to a new role. So now I'm officially a god designer on the battleground, and it's been amazing so far. And in the future, I might even get to make my own god. We'll see. But for now, I'm doing a lot of learning, and it's been amazing so far, and I'm so thankful to be here.
Well, we are certainly thankful to have you here, and everybody give her a massive congratulations. That's super awesome. Can't wait to see your god hit the battleground whenever you get on that. So we're looking forward to it. So let's dive in. We're starting off with some skins from the Odyssey Perilous Seas, as you might have just seen in the video prior. And the first one is Cosmic Fortune Ganesha. So
Ooh,
that is so awesome. Very glowy. Like banishing the dark, scary thing in the bottom corner too.
Oh, I thought it was a cloud. Little, vortexes in his ears too. Oh my goodness, there's so much detail in this skin.
Wow, yeah, I never even noticed the ear universes. That's awesome.
Yeah. And stomach universes.
The color palette on this
stars.
one's so nice too.
And look at the effect
warm.
under the feet. That's really cool. I'm just staring at it now. What an absolutely great skin. Let's hear what the voice line sounds like.
Expanding the cosmos is the only way to victory.
Ooh, that's
victory,
nice.
that's
a nice soothing voice.
Just so
I know, right?
Exactly.
Always so calming. Next up, and I'm excited for this one, we have Cat Force Hercules. Let's see what that looks like.
Oh my goodness.
That is 100% me in the corner or like in the side running away, by the way. So
That's
just
Hercules?
FYI.
Oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
guys.
Hercules.
I love it. Oh, what a great! I love the pink.
Wait, is he the
hammer.
tiny? Oh my gosh, is he the
Yeah.
tiny cat in the suit?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
It's a
Look
cat
at that
man.
I will
tail.
be using this.
Look at that itty
This
bitty
is perfect.
bald
I love
tail.
the pink and
Oh.
blue is so nice. Look at the claws too.
What claws?
I absolutely
Oh,
love this
on the
skin. Like on the
feetsies.
feet, yeah.
Oh, on the mace too? The little paw?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so great. Let's hear what the voice sounds like.
Threats have been identified. Fear not! My specifications fully encompass dealing with foes of this caliber.
Dang, consider it
Wow.
dealt with.
Not
Just
sure
so
if
cute.
aggressive
This
or
is
cute, but or both.
Yeah.
both. Yeah.
It's like it's threatening, and then you go, "Oh," but you're afraid still.
Yes.
That's so good.
Exactly.
So next up we have it's with the Kitty Karna. It's a viewer point bundle. We have Kitty Karna, Kumba Karna. So we're continuing with cats here.
Favorite.
Oh,
she looks so fluffy.
Big sleepy boy.
He is
I feel
big
that.
sleepy boy.
I feel like that's what I look like.
He's had
Like I
a
finished.
nice full meal.
Yeah.
Right. He looks like full of wisdom and 1,000 years old, with big
Oh.
hands.
Look at those big blue eyes too. Wow.
I know.
That is absolutely awesome. The staff is really cool too.
Yeah, look at that. And the hat has like ear holes too. That's
Ears.
perfect. I love that.
Yeah, that's custom made. That's a good hat.
Yeah.
Skin is awesome. Let's hear what he sounds like.
Train to defeat the greatest enemy, yourself, and to discover the greatest master, yourself.
That is awesome. He sounds so wise.
Yeah.
I'd let him teach
and
me.
badass. He will punch your face in.
With a meow. All right, so next up, we actually are moving into skins with the Reaping event. So October is upon us, and we have a Reaping event coming up. We're gonna show off some of these skins, and then we'll get into the kind of the details. But first, we have Beast Seer Artio, and just look at that. That's horror.
She is staring
amazing.
into my soul, man.
Yeah.
Do they also have
In
a
both
pandemic
forms.
there? Is that why she's wearing a mask?
Yeah, I mean, always better safe than sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
Oh, the
That
bear is so creepy. In the white
Yeah.
too? Oh my gosh.
Oh, the red eyes I cannot get over. For both of them.
That's great. I will love playing this one.
And be afraid when it is charging at me. Let's hear the voice line.
Winning or losing doesn't matter. We all shall return to nature in the end.
Nature's scary.
Mm-hmm. It's
Well,
nature.
awesome. It sure is neat. Next up, we have Halloween Hysteria Baron Zombie. Let's see how that goes.
Yes.
Oh,
I love this
maximum
skin
spook
so
boy.
much.
Goodness. The pumpkin head with a little slash through it. Oh my gosh. I better be seeing some of y'all make a jack-o'-lantern of that. I want to see that.
True. Dude, tweet us. If you make that, tweet it at us. Oh, that's so good looking.
Oh my god, look at the ghost!
Yeah, it's
Jinx!
so good.
That's so awesome.
He's like a snake ghost.
He's,
And
yeah, he's
he's
like
dancing.
boogieing too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I absolutely love it. I love all the
Oh
little details, like
my
the tattered
goodness.
pants too, with the leg bone and stuff. Just it looks so good. Absolutely love
He's
this. I'm
creepy
excited.
and cool.
Exactly.
True, creepy and cool. Let's hear what he sounds like.
Bones are shaking, bats are aflutter, and the glow of fire is all that illuminates us. The mood has been set.
And it's a spooky mood.
Okay.
It's kind of a boogie mood too.
Yeah.
Super, super awesome. Next, we have Crimson Steel Ares.
Okay.
Now, this one is
Oh.
dope. He looks
Again with the
Look
red
at-
eyes.
insane.
I know, right?
I love that sword too, kind of like the two edges but split up the middle. Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, and the shield too. It's got the little like demonic face on the front. I'm sure that's where the fire comes from, but
Oh yeah,
he's
no
looking
doubt.
good.
So good.
That sword though, that 2-prong.
Totally agree. It's super great looking, and like the like wings on his shield too. It's like so much going on. Very
He's
vampire.
like regal and evil and undead, and he will be getting a 5-man
a
ult to pull
vampire?
you all into a ton of burst. I mean,
I
he could
think
be.
he might be
It
a
looks like he
vampire.
serves some kind of vampire
Whatever you
lord.
wanna
Maybe he
be,
is
baby.
the vampire lord.
Let's hear what he sounds like.
By the High Council's orders, we go to war!
Yeah, like you said.
Okay, so
5-man
maybe, yeah.
Maybe it's
Super
a council
awesome.
of vampires. Could be.
Yeah, maybe it's
so.
Council of Vampires.
I think so. Next up, we have Wise Guy Cupid.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Don't get me started on the skin.
I love his face. I love it so much. I can't put to words.
Oh my gosh. Look at him.
That's a thug. Also worth noting with this
he's a
one.
thug.
Oh, that looks so good. So handsome too. Worth noting with this one. This is a community concept skin. So thank you, Rob Draws, for this concept. We love it. It's awesome, and here it is, live in action.
I mean, this is new best Cupid skin, right?
I'm feeling yes. It's a hard yes. Let's hear what he sounds like.
Oh, look at all these people coming to our speakeasy. Well, welcome. Don't worry. I take care of my own.
That's so good. He takes care of his own.
I
You ain't gotta
know,
worry.
right?
I love it. I love the suit.
Yeah.
I love his jawline, everything.
The chat
Next up,
jawline,
we
it's great.
exactly. Next up, we have Omniscient Oracle Zeus.
Oh,
my gosh.
Jesus.
There's
That's
a
a-
couple too many arms on that one.
And a chest.
That's
mouth.
his head. His eye, that eye is his head.
What about the
I'm creeped
chest
out at
eye?
just the art. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow, we went from handsome Cupid to scary Zeus.
Oh,
He is so spooky.
Oh, he's got some flesh flaps. Dude, flesh flaps are the scariest things, dude. I don't know about
Yeah.
flesh flaps.
Look at all those
Yeah.
arms.
I don't.
Ew.
I mean, I like it, but in the kind of way that I don't like it. You know, if that makes
It's
any
like
sense.
I watch a horror movie to get scared, right? I'm playing the Zeus skin to scare my opponents.
Yeah, this is
Right.
there are mental
I
crits.
know.
You're landing mental crits when you lock this skin in. Like that's it.
We're gonna have
let's-
to ask Aggro because he's like the Zeus juice player.
We will. Let's hear what he sounds like.
All of you shall bow before my masters and I.
And I get it? Oh
Get
my
it, 'cause-
God.
It's on his
So,
shoulder. I get it.
Oh Jesus.
Oh man. All right. Next up, we have Screamy Chibi Izanami. It's almost a tongue twister.
She's so cute.
She is.
With a big head. Oh my goodness.
The big glowing eye too. Oh, I love
Is
it.
there a
adorable.
pupper? There's a pupper bottom left.
Oh, there is a pupper. It's mighty spooked though. That's a spooked pupper.
Yeah, it's
I would be too. I'd be wanting to get out of there.
Yeah. Man, I love it.
Love it.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh my god, the little smile. She's cute and creepy.
I know,
right? I think her eyes changed too since it's a chibi.
Yeah.
Oh,
They
maybe.
should.
I love her.
Oh, you'll have to be
her
on lookout
throwing
for those
side
expressions.
sickles. Yeah.
Yeah, the expressions. Yeah, let's see if she changes her expression.
It'll be good
I'm
to
sure
watch
that she
for.
has
yet.
some crazy ones. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Thanatos one that we did a while ago had some insane ones, so she probably has some great ones as well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
she's scary and very emotive. Let's hear what she sounds like.
Finally free! You know how grueling it was to be stuck with those boring spirits in the underworld?
Yeah.
It sounds like the
I'm
Izanami
laughing
voice
'cause I wrote
actress
it.
just had helium. Like she inhaled some helium.
Yes.
Maybe that's why her head is so big.
Industry secrets right there. All right. So next up, we're moving to the Halloween chest now, which was still part of the reaping. And we have Cyber Shadow Merlin.
Oof. Okay. Hello.
Ooh. Yeah. Hello.
I will be using this skin from now on. There is no other Merlin skin.
I knew you would say
I
that.
love
I mean,
damn it.
look at the eyeliner. I mean, he's committing to the look.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
That's
There is
dedication.
eyeliner. You're right about that.
Dedication to the look. I agree.
Oh my gosh, the
Wow.
little cube in his hand too. Look at those.
And the hair, though. Yeah, I love that cube.
He takes care of
I was like,
himself. Look at him.
I know, right? All that techie stuff too, like the wires and stuff. Oh, that's awesome. I love this skin. I
Color
love all the
scheme,
blue.
too.
Yeah.
Those are just the best colors together. Purple and blue. I mean, you cannot go wrong with that.
Couldn't agree more. Let's hear what it sounds like.
The surrounding shadows are brimming with energy. I can use the mana to sway the battle in our favor.
And sounds like a hunk. Check, check, and check.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, no doubt. All right, so there is technically one more skin, but it is for a god we might not have talked about yet, so we're going to save it for after that. So just, there is one more beautiful skin that y'all will get to see. But so let's get into the reaping event. This year it's more than just, like we have an in-game event for it. And Tina, if I'm correct, you kind of know all about it. You want to let us in on the deets?
Yeah. Okay, so there's the reaping. It's called the reaping. And there's 2 really important things to know about the event. There's the skin section, and then there's like the questing section. In the skin section, your goal is to collect pumpkins by purchasing items from the Halloween chest and the direct purchase skins from the actual event. Collecting these pumpkins will unlock reward skins, and for each time you roll the Halloween chest, you will receive a pumpkin, up to 3 pumpkins. Okay? I know I'm talking really fast. Each of the direct purchase skins in the reaping event will also grant you a pumpkin. So, for example, if you want, you can buy 1 chest roll, which will grant you a pumpkin, and then you can buy 2 of the direct purchase reaping skins, and it'll grant you 2 pumpkins. So you can kind of mix and match as you go. But you can only collect 6 pumpkins in total. And what's important about the pumpkins is that you can unlock rewards with them, like skin rewards. So for collecting 3 pumpkins, you will unlock the Baron Samedi skin, and for collecting 6 pumpkins, you will unlock the Chibi Izanami skin. And yeah, that's all for that part. And then the second part is the quests, and it's free for everyone. Basically, you're trying to help Artio escape from a creepy coffin that has locks on it, like tons of locks on it. And each week, we will release 2 quests. If you complete those 2 quests, it will unlock the first lock on the creepy coffin. If you complete 6 quests, you will unlock the Survivor player title. And if you unlock all the quests, if you complete all the quests, you will unlock the Artio Beastier skin that we just saw earlier.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, that's super exciting. Again, that's coming with the 8.10 update live October 19th. So look out for that and partake in the reaping. Well, Tina and Lermy, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me here. And let's get into something scary. We'll see y'all in just a second. Hello again, Smite fans, and welcome back. If you weren't totally scared away by what just happened a second ago, I am now here with Pawn and AJ. So welcome aboard, y'all. Yeah, you're learning now. Pawn looks to be a little stuck. AJ, I'm having trouble hearing you on my end.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm jumping into the show late. This is my bad. I'm
there
off
it
a
is.
little bit. I usually jump in earlier. Thanks.
It's fine. We're here. So looks like Pawn is still a little frozen, so he'll pop back up.
He's not frozen.
Yeah,
he's just really deeply focusing on his new God release.
You're saying he was scared stiff by the trailer, is what I think I'm hearing.
Like, have you ever seen Paul play Pro League? He's just always frozen in that same stance while he's playing. That's what Pon's doing right now. That's just his patch notes face. So he's here. Don't worry about it.
Intensely focused. Got it. Well, we're here for Cliodhna. We're excited for her release. We finally let y'all see her recently, and there's a lot to go about her. So, AJ, do you just want to dive in and start talking about kind of what Cliodhna looked like as we were fleshing her out?
Yeah, I can go into some of the brief overview on her. Cliodhna is the Celtic Banshee Queen. She is a member of the Tuatha De Dan, which is a kind of like the Olympians, or just that council of gods in Irish and Celtic mythology. We've been really set on wanting to do kind of a ghostly character for a very long time. It has a very unique look to it, a very unique set of mechanics that we could bring to the game, and we were really looking for the right character, the right time, the right place. We actually went through a lot of alternate choices and trying to make up our decision here before we settled on Cliodhna, the Banshee Queen. And she's scary.
Oh yeah,
she is spooky.
So good, absolutely spooky.
There's a lot of interesting lore to Cliodhna, which I'm sure Pawn could mention if I forgot anything. But she's actually quite a complicated goddess. There's a lot of interesting tales about her powers involving love and romance and beauty. Which we chose to take a slightly different direction with our depiction just because of the character being a banshee and the queen of the banshees. I think players would have been a little confused if Queen Banshee looked like a, kind of a beautiful, normal woman. So we leaned into the actual banshee, which is, the beings that she rules over, and made her really look like the most epic version of all of those banshees instead.
I can definitely see it. Definitely.
And she's definitely creepy.
Oh yeah, and it's only exonified by seeing her in action. So are we ready to steer in game?
I think we're good. Cliodhna attacked my webcam, so I think we've resolved that now. So I think we can go straight into game and show off the kit.
Awesome. Let's
she is
see what's going on.
Physical melee assassin, which I know.
Correct. So we're gonna show what happens when you might fight Cliodhna first. She is a terror in the jungle. Let's show off the rest of the abilities.
That was scary already.
That was spooky.
And of course,
gotta do it. Show up. Show everybody.
There it is.
Yes. Look
in the wall.
Look at how amazing this is.
So
That's
awesome
so
stuff there.
awesome.
She is
Marvel,
truly horrifying.
Oh yeah, and so many things to go over there. Let's get into it. Let's start with that passive. Lay it down for us.
Yep, so the passive is Phantasmal. So the idea here is that she can essentially take on a ghostly form and walk into walls. And so you can see here, as I walk into that wall, I have a brief entering time before I go in there. But now that I'm in here, I can actually walk completely into this wall, walk through it, walk anywhere I want to, and then I can exit at any time. And you can see that I'm taking more and more and more damage as I stay inside here. This passive has a lot of rules about what you can or can't do with it. So the first one is, it has a cooldown. You can only do this once every 16 seconds, and it happens when you leave. The second is that if you're crippled or below 25% health, you can't enter the wall. So if you're able to cripple her or get her low enough health, she can't just immediately sneak away into a wall. And the third is that when you have this on cooldown, you actually have an indicator in-game like, hey, you can't do this. You can't go into this wall at all. So there's a whole bunch going on here to make sure that, one, it's conveyed really clearly as to your ability to enter a wall, but also making sure that there's counterplay options when you're inside a wall, you can see here that I have this debuff icon. You might be able to hear creepy music. You might have heard that earlier. That's an indicator that she is actually in the wall next to you. And if I walk out of it and walk in it, you'll be able to hear an audio cue that you've actually entered within an area around her. So you have some indication that you might get jumped on within a few seconds.
Wow.
So
the ability is an absolute technical marvel. The amount of programming and engineering that went into this ability, this single ability, might be one of the top in all of Smite history to rival Olarun Alt and the Morrigan, honestly. All the interesting choices we had to make involving what we wanted to show, what we wanted to render while players were in the wall, how we got the most important information, how we showed those borders, the boundaries of them, showed nearby gods, as well as this whole like kind of dark realm she's in. Because if you just walk into a Smite wall, like you'll see all sorts of the insides of video game models, or clipping through things. So you couldn't just walk the camera through the wall. We really had to change the visuals intensely to even make this work at all.
Correct.
Playable, and all of these things just came together in an absolute beauty. And like I am just so proud of our team. This is really working magic as far as video games go. I'm just really impressed. This is something we've been wanting to do for years, and we finally made it happen.
Yeah, especially like from just how we actually present this, like the programming team has an algorithm that runs through the map to generate these walls, because again, like this rock might have collision that's separate from this wall, and even though as a player this looks like one solid unit, it very much isn't. So we actually had to generate these walls on the fly in real time during gameplay. The team did a whole bunch of optimization. I don't think we can really understate how much tech went into this, and overall it's created such a smooth experience for this. I'm super happy with this pass as a whole.
And I mean, it just, from a perspective too of somebody who isn't, I'm not as much on the back end with the programming side, but even just from my perspective, it is insane to look at. The way the imagery of it all looks so good, the way that the gods are highlighted, just everything about it looks so good from every angle. It's a great addition. So
you can also see
the creepy whispers.
And the only other thing I want to mention is there's a few other rules here. When she's in the wall, she is completely unseeable and undamageable. So things like new ult won't hit you. That makes sure that there's no weird edge cases that can occur, but it also makes sense because she's like become completely intangible. Additionally, you can't actually see, so I have a ward here. There's definitely a Cliodhna in that wall. I can't see her. The only indication I have that she's there was the fact that I could like hear her around me. And when she goes in the wall, she completely disappears as well. So that's the main rules that you'd want to know about when you're fighting this. Is when she's in the wall, she's very much safe. But again, she's taking tick damage while she's in there, so she's on a timer. She has to get out of there. And so if you can surround like a wall, like especially some of the smaller walls, you can cut off her escape paths. And if she chooses to stay in there for too long, you can just kind of wait her out. And if she exits, she's going to be like half health if she couldn't get anything going. So there's a lot of counterplay opportunities there. And I think the only final thing to mention, because this passive again is probably the biggest part of her kit. She has 10% physical ability lifesteal while she's inside a wall, as well as for a brief window when she exits. This is kind of encourage aggression with it. You want to use it aggressively against your opponents and kind of offset the damage that you're taking inside the wall, at least for the very first window of opportunity you have with it. So just an extra nice thing that she can use if she wants to use this aggressively to be rewarded for it.
Now, I know we're going to get a lot of questions, and Pon, clarify me if I'm wrong, but just to make things a little bit easier, when people are like, oh, can I new alter in a wall? Can I Nox dash inside her and go into a wall? Can I Horus dash to her and then she go in the wall? The answer is no to everything. Like, we pretty much remove Cliodhna from the game while she's in the wall.
Yes.
You don't get to do...
Nox...
We're really trying to make sure that we are, we're trying to make sure we get a lot of those difficult edge cases out of the way, a lot of potentials for unintended gameplay. Really, we're focusing this entirely on Cliodhna's movement is the goal of it. We're not really wanting situations where other gods are getting pulled into walls or hitting her or anything. So she is completely disconnected in as many ways as possible while she's in those walls. And of course, during your PTS sessions and your early testing and, the people who love to try to find if any of those edge cases still work, please do report those and we will take a look at them immediately. But that is our design intent, right, Pon?
And super rapid fire to answer some questions I'm seeing. Nox gets auto ejected because she can't eject inside the wall, so she just gets kicked out. Athena, if you walk onto her before she enters a wall, you'll just go to the last valid location Cliodhna was standing. You can't walk onto her while she's inside a wall.
Yeah.
Those are the major ones. Horus, when you start flying there, you'll just stop at the wall. Tsukiyomi, if you ult her before she enters the wall, you'll kind of she'll be removed from your dash target list, so nothing will really happen in that case. So we've done a lot of testing here. I'm sure you guys will find something, but we've done as best we can to make sure that this very game-breaking passive, because this does fundamentally break a lot of the rules that we have in Smite, is intuitive, is smooth, and interacts with all our existing rosters as smoothly as possible.
Yeah, the biggest thing that hurt my feeling about that was learning that you can't, give high fives to like Chernobog if he's in the wall. So, oh well.
Yeah, unfortunate.
So how about Banshee's Wail? Let's see what her her first ability looks like.
So let's do the first ability. We have the Banshee's Wail. This is a 3-part channel. Oop. Something weird. There we go. Sometimes in this dev it can get a little bit funky. So we got the scream. It's 3 parts. The final hit hits the hardest, and you can see that final scream actually causes the target to be silenced, but that's not all. They're also deafened when that hits. If Lermy is here, if she wants to cast the ultimate and then hit me with the deafen ability, you'll be able to hear the audio disappear. So you can hear that kind of dip out and then dip back in of the audio. This is essentially removing your ability to hear for just a brief window of time, and then so like a Raw could potentially snipe you or Thor could dunk on you. Just a nice nod to the fact that this is a loud Banshee just wailing into your ear.
That is so wild.
And that's not all. It has a passive interaction. When you're inside the wall, you can cast it along the wall. And you might wonder, what is that thing that's screaming instead of Cliodhna? Well, if Lermy can cast the 1, you have Spooky Wall Face that was at the end of the trailer.
Yeah, so I know there was some expectations potentially for a stance changer for this character, which we're not super keen on doing, but you can kind of look at this kit as if it was a stance change, because you have the in-the-wall kit and the out-of-the-wall kit. You have a lot of different changes to all the abilities, depending on whether you're in or out.
And it is just insanely spooky. It's jump scares, man. I'm going to be walking through the jungle, going to get my speed camp, and a face is going to pop out, and I'm going to, Alt F4 by accident. Out of fear.
Yep.
So we can go on to the next ability.
Let's
have Flickering Visions. So Flickering Visions is actually a line skill shot with an exploding AoE. Pretty standard stuff. But you can see that that target is marked. And what that target mark means is that they can no longer see me. So if I were to hit the center Odin would lose sight of me, but the other Odins can totally see me still. It's a targeted stealth. So only the person that I hit is actually views me as stealth, and if Lermy wants to cast it, we can see what that looks like. So she completely disappears from my vision. If she then uses the 2 and then attacks, you can see that she kind of flickers into existence for that attack. I can also try and hit her to also reveal her. So it follows a lot of similar rules with like revealing based off being hit. But this is essentially a way that she can hit you with the 2, and then if she wants to try and run away, she potentially can. If she wants to try and get into a wall, she can. If she wants to get around you and surprise you from the other side, where you weren't expecting it, she can. But the rest of the team can see this. And so you can also kind of play off your team's ability of fighting Cliodhna to potentially get vision on her as well. Just a very different take on the stealth that we've had in the game from before, from other stealths that we have in the game.
And the fact that you have to hit someone before you can become stealth helps remove a lot of the other frustration elements regarding stealth, where you can use it when you're very far away to engage or to escape. Really, this is like a really unique take on combat stealth, which lets her get a little bit of positioning or a very specific one-on-one advantage in a skirmish, which I just think is super smart design and a very cool evolution for the game.
Thank you.
And it adds such a level of mental play too to being in the jungle, because if you're in a jungle fight, you hit somebody with that and then dive into a wall to attack, even if the blind wears off and they can hear you, there are walls all over the jungle. Who knows where you're going to come from? So there's a lot of play there, and I think that's really cool.
And it is an AoE, so if you hit multiple gods with the explosion, they all can't see you, so it's not just one person. So if you're able to catch them all together, you could potentially deny the entire team vision of you if you are able to get that skill shot off.
So much to play. That's super awesome. So how about ability number 3? What's going on with ability number 3?
So ability number 3 is Lurching Claw. This is the movement ability of the kit, as well as a kind of different way of doing a cone attack. So we have a charge into a cone fire. So you can see it's pretty straightforward there. The dash does damage, the claw does damage, but you can stop it at any point. So you can charge forward there, you can charge, cancel a bit early, you can aim freely while you're charging, turn around and cancel wherever you want. So this is basically, you can choose to move as far as you want, and then once you cancel, you're going to do that claw attack no matter what. This does have another interaction with the wall, which is you can cast it while you're inside the wall. So you saw when we showed off the ability at the start, you can actually just jump out of the wall, and you can see you actually cover quite a bit of distance, as well as this charge is a little bit longer as well. So the normal dash length I think is about 45, and the wall dash is 50 if I recall correctly. So you get a little extra distance. We should also note that
ability 2 just cannot be used in a wall.
Correct.
Yeah, so people might have been saying, "What about the ability 2 wall?" And the answer is no.
Yep, and you can see similarly, you also can't fire relics as when you're inside it as well. Similar things there. That
you can't return to base.
Nope. If you try and back, you can start it, but you're gonna take damage and not be able to. But yep, this is your ability, especially if you're trying to gank like mid lane. This is your way to you can jump into this wall. Maybe you know there's no ward here. Jump up here and then come out of this wall, gank the enemy mid laner. Pretty spooky stuff if you try to face it.
Oh yeah, love it too, and I love that you can like you showed off, dash through and get behind. It's great for positioning or for stopping somebody from running by getting in front of them. Super handy. So let's talk about her ult. Let's talk about the final, tearing the veil.
Yep. So the final portion of the kit is the ult, tearing the veil. This is where she uses her claw to tear a rift between the veil of life and death and call forth her banshees. So she casts this, a rip opens, and you can see there it kind of bursts open in a big attack, and then a whole bunch of banshees come flying out of it. This ability has that burst is higher damage, followed by tick damage that decreases. So you really want to try and land an initial hit. Does quite a bit of damage. But enemies do have a lot of warning that is coming, so they can try and avoid it. You can see there, she tried to hit me with it from inside the wall, but I saw it in time, was able to back up. You gotta be careful when you're fighting against the Cliodhna. But I also have 2 charges of this, so this is actually a charge-based ultimate. And the reason for that is, one, to give you a bit of flexibility when using this, so you can choose to cut off opponents, you can choose to try and directly damage them. But when you're inside the wall, it actually acts completely differently. So here you can see I cast it, and it just kind of sits there on the wall. It's actually not going to do anything. And it's not going to do anything until an enemy actually walks over here, if Lermy is available. There we go. You can see it actually activates there when she actually walked near it. So she's able to place wall-based traps that go off. So if you wanted to use this to try and potentially... one place that was pretty common for us to use was at this Gold Fury pit. If you place one here, and you can kind of cut off this path, enemies who walk in here might choose to walk forward, their teammates might choose to walk backwards, and now they're split up. So a lot of interesting things you can do with that. We want to give you the flexibility to play around with it. So it has 2 charges, and its damage and number tuning is kind of tuned to that. So you have that flexibility.
This ability has a lot of unique applications. It's really good for cutting off paths, as it's a pretty potent slow, even if you don't get hit by the initial hit. Which, you know, it's a new god, so it's got to have a slow. Thanks, Bonbon, for that one. And
you're welcome.
It's also, when you're placing your traps, it can be really smart to place them so that they open and fire further down a jungle path instead of just into a short path. You might think you want to just place them in that short bottleneck there, but it's much better to place one, right there, because you effectively cut off the difference between those 2 placements, cuts off a large amount of choices. Where you can run right past it briefly, but if you run past the other one, you cannot really retreat into your own jungle without getting hit by it. So really some smart positioning here. It can do a lot to route enemies around. It's a little harder to just get straight up burst damage with this, but you can do a lot of good to lock people in place. And she also has a really fun jump animation that we've just been spamming really internally nonstop. So the animation team really went above and beyond on this character all across the board, and she's an absolutely beautiful goddess.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing I wanted to show off since we were able to show it is, again, a lot of teams did a lot of new tech to really make sure this character came to life, and one thing that you saw in the trailer was when she screamed, you actually saw the kind of mask tear apart and the hood tear apart, and you had the kind of spooky face reveal. So I just want to make sure that we show that off.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Yeah, she does actually do it in game. Her hood melts away and her hair all flies back and her face changes.
Let's slow-mo it so you can see it.
Oh, she's turning around.
So there's the spooky face. On slow-mo, some of it looks a little bit weird, but you can see there that the hood completely fades away, the hair goes flying, the face gets revealed.
Yeah. We also use that in some of her other animations, some of her other just flavor animations outside of the ability. So you'll see that, I believe, on her intro when you first select her in a lobby. She'll come out and scare you, and then she'll put on her cleaner face just to hide away. And you'll also see that in some other animations throughout the kit.
God, that is so super awesome. Like, what a great attention to detail.
Mm-hmm. Lots of really
Absolutely
cool flavor things all throughout the kit on all the animations. For example, her laugh, because it didn't feel potentially correct for her to like laugh and be super cheery. She actually has like this kind of wailing laugh instead. Just a lot of really small details.
That's
Sorry, what was
super
that?
awesome, yeah.
Oh yeah, and also we didn't talk about the basic attack. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The basic attack, she uses the Falcata for her first 2 attacks. They do normal damage, and her final attack is actually a heavier claw-based attack. So you can see here that I'm actually hitting the Odin for harder on the final hit. So she does have a hit chain, and that does mean that if she's able to stay on a target, especially during like the 2, because when she hits a target with this, she has a bit increased movement speed as long as someone can't see her. She can get behind a target and really get that powerful final attack once you've built a lot of physical power.
The hit chain
Super
feels
awesome.
great, and her jungle clear feels real great. That ability 1 is real quick jungle clear, although, you know, it does require her to channel, but it's a perfect shape and speed to clear out the jungle really well, so she feels really smooth as you're going through your jungle route.
Yeah, especially, I imagine, especially once you learn, like, which walls you can dive in and out of early to, like, balance your health costs with how quickly you cover the map. There's just so much play style potential here for her to optimize jungle routes that only she is capable of by being able to walk through walls like that.
It's true.
Oh, the, like, singing is so ominous.
Yeah, when she's around you in the jungle, it is legitimately terrifying.
Yeah, well, that is awesome. Thank you for showing in game. I appreciate that a lot. Let's move on. Let's see some of the skin she's gonna come out with. So we have her basic recolor skin, the Banshee Queen Cleanliness skin. So we'll look at that. That looks awesome. I love the red hood and like the red blade. It's amazing.
Yes. All the recolors and skins are really good.
I agree. Oh yeah, that looks great.
This actually might be the bugged version. So
I can't tell.
The
I think so.
Yeah, so the Ascended art actually looks more like this. The recolor is that kind of like deep red. It will have that deep red. We identified an issue where they were kind of mixing when they shouldn't be. So you'll see the deep red version that you saw on the card artwork, and this is going to match close to the Ascended one that I'm sure we'll see in a little bit.
We'll see. If we see the Ascended turnaround and it looks the same, then we'll confirm the bug. For sure. So we're all being part of the QA team together right now.
Yeah, well, there's the Ascended skin. Here we are at the Ascended skin. So yeah,
And
I
we
can see
had
what
to
you
do
mean
a
now.
card art with the Banshee scream. You know, we couldn't have her
Of
looking
course.
as beautiful in all of the card arts. I was like, we had to have one of these. And there's some Cleana players are more like, okay, yeah, that's definitely more along the more. That's too close. So that first turnaround was, I think, the bugged one. So you'll still see that red version later on in the patch once we get that sorted out. Sorry to the video team who made these nice turnarounds for us without before we confirmed that the bug existed.
All doing
So this
QA
is the
together as a
Ascended
family.
one. Yeah, that's
looks-
what
looks
what
great.
PTS and patch notes are for. That's like the whole point.
Yeah. So next we have the Masteries. So love the golden blue always. Looks really good. I mean, just this character in general is just so good to look at.
Oh, I love the
golden
gold colored
blade.
like fog underneath.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And the blade looks so good.
It really does. Ooh, the golden black.
I just like how much gold in general she has on her.
I always like this golden black, but she just blue complements her so well that the golden and diamond actually look really great.
As if there wasn't enough
the hair color,
incentives to play her.
The hair color is also that deeper blue.
Yeah, the diamond
Really neat
complements
stuff.
just her natural
And
character
we
color so
also have one very special surprise, and that she's actually getting a real skin this same update, right?
That is exactly true.
Ah,
Deadly
yes.
Ball Cleana. Oh.
And you thought she couldn't
It
get
is
any
terrifying.
creepier.
Yeah. And
And not only
as
did we
I
make her
kinda-
creepier, you got something for us?
You go first.
Well, we got to see the turnaround. I was kind of leading into it. I guess I jumped the gun a little bit. Oh yeah, look at that face and the head and the hair. A lot of changes up there too. Which this one has to have a Banshee face scream as well, right?
Yeah. No, the Banshee face is, believe it or not, scarier than that.
Oh, wow.
And also, when she uses the wall version also has a different face as well. So definitely some surprises to look out for.
And just fun things to think about for future skins for this character. Let's hear the voice line for this one. We have a voice line.
Those mean ones didn't pick me. They will know what it feels to be tossed aside.
That's creepy.
That's very creepy. So this is also going to be a part of, this is in the Halloween chest that we mentioned above. This was the mystery skin that we made y'all wait for. So just so many good things here with Cliodhna. We're so excited about her. So I have chills. There were thrills. It's all good things happened today, and I am so happy y'all are hanging out. That is the end of the update show. Thank you, Pawn. Thank you, Ajax, for tagging along and explaining Cliodhna. And I would have screamed probably if I had to do it because I was scared the whole time. That's why the cameras weren't on. So I appreciate y'all for coming in and being able to do that because it was horrifying. But otherwise, yeah, we have PTS on Friday. Make sure that y'all get into that when it opens up. And as always, I mean, as you saw, so many new things with this god, so many amazing mechanical changes and new devices to Smite that we want y'all to get in there and test it and let us know what you find. Let us know if anything doesn't seem right or just how fun it is. We also love hearing about that. Let us know what you love. Otherwise, you can look for that update dropping October 19th, and the bonus update will be dropping on October 5th. Thank y'all so much for hanging out. We look forward to seeing you in the battleground and in the future at everything. Thank you, Smite fans. See you later.
Bye.